Well, hey there, everyone, and welcome to the VIP Trade Room with Roger Scott and Matt Horton. Today is Tuesday, November 25th, and my name is Raleigh White, and I'm coming to you live from a beautiful fall day here in Austin, Texas, and I'm going to be your moderator today. Now, in today's session, Roger's going to be recovering a range of important topics with a continuing focus on using AlphaZone Pro for day trading. And in today's session, he's going to share how he draws and then uses his intraday levels. He's going to talk about why day trading options is not an everyday event. He's going to share how to take implied volatility into account, when to trade market divergence, and when to trade market synergy. He's going to share market analysis on the second half of the day. And as a bonus, folks, he's going to give us an afternoon update on the stocks that are on his watch list for this afternoon. Now, if you've got any questions during Roger's presentation, please type them in the chat window and we'll address them periodically throughout his presentation so as to not interfere with what he's sharing. Secondly, folks, the chat is open to everyone. And remember that we do have some ground rules. Always be kind and supportive in your posts. Keep to the topic. No political discussions allowed whatsoever. And please, please keep your conversations, your side conversations to a minimum so that the rest of us can focus on the education and the information that Roger's going to be sharing. Because when you think about it, folks, he's taking time out of his busy day to give us an edge in the market and to help us all become more confident and consistent in our trading activities. Now, for those of you that were with us this morning at 8 o'clock Eastern Time for Roger's pre-market briefing, we noted that there were several key catalysts that we needed to be aware of. In the chip sector, we noted that NVIDIA was down 3% coming into the open, but on the other hand, Google was up 3%. On the consumer front, Best Buy and Smuckers were going to be releasing their earnings before the market opened. On the tech front, Keys was up a whopping 13%. Applied Material was up 1%, and SanDisk was up 3%. On the medical front, Agilent was getting ready to issue their earnings before the market opened. And with regard to the Fed, several things on tap today. We had producer price index, we have retail sales data coming out, home sales data coming out, the Richmond Manufacturing Index, and consumer confidence. And looking at those, I mean, the PPI, retail, home, we're pretty much in line with expectations. And once again, this data is somewhat old because it's not current yet. Richmond Manufacturing Index came in disappointingly low, and consumer confidence was way below forecast. Now, as far as Roger's small cap watch list is concerned, there were 5 tickers that he had on his list for today. Icon, ICON, above $1.45, DGLY above 190, VNRX above 50 cents, RELI above $1.10, and AUTL above $1.75. And let's go ahead and switch to my other screen here and take a look at how these small caps are performing today. So I want you to look over here on the left-hand side of the screen. And by the way, you're looking at everything here on 15-minute charts. So in the upper left-hand corner, we can see Icon. The pre-market high we were looking at was $1.45. It opened up right around, almost right about $1.05 and hasn't done anything here. We could see, volume is bleeding off. I don't expect to see any action there. Next to it here, we have DGLY. The pre-market high that we were looking at on this one was $1.90. And we can see that we opened up. We started to make a move in that direction. We went as high as $1.72, and then we fell back off of it. So we may see something here yet, but it's hard to say. Next to it, we have VNRX. We were looking at 50 cents as being our target here, and we opened up here right at around 30 cents, and if we've just stayed there, and you can see volume has totally disappeared. In the lower left-hand corner, we have RELI, and our target here was $1.10. And once again, it opened up here at about 74 cents. It's dropped off to about 70 cents. You can see the volume is non-existent. And then we have AUTL. Our target was $1.75, and it opened up here at about $1.34. It's up about $1.37. Once again, not making any kind of a move. If you were to ask me which one of these five has the potential today, maybe, I would say DGLY, but we are getting late in the day, and I'm not sure anything's going to happen there. So going back to our regular presentation here, before I move off of small caps, I just want to let you know that Roger's selection process is based not only on price action, but he really does focus on extreme volume. You know, when we talk about extreme, we're talking about a volume that's maybe as much as 100 times more than what the normal volume for that small cap is. We also know that small caps are their own animal. They're not impacted by the same things we concern ourselves with when it comes to the large cap, for example, like the catalysts I just shared with you. And also, folks, if you're going to look at these trades, only look at them during normal market hours. And if you don't have a fill by around 2 p.m. Eastern time, just take the trade off. And by no means should you ever hold one of these trades overnight. The risk is honestly not worth it. As far as the large caps are concerned, there were several that he shared with us. On the short side, we can see that there were 8 stocks that were there. And on the long side, he had 11 tickers that he is looking at. Now, the two that have asterisks here are LVS and INCY. The asterisk means that these are good looking A-line setups. So for those of you that are trading A-lines, this is something to really pay attention to. The other thing I want to share with you is that when Roger looks at these tickers in the morning, these are pre-market off of his list. He fully expects that if any of these tickers meet his criteria during the day, that they could very well end up as a trade that's in the trading pit or any of his other premium services. And as far as his closing comments for today are concerned, folks, we noted that the futures markets were down just slightly coming into the open, but boy, bonds were moving higher and they were above the 50-day moving average. And this was exciting news for Roger because he said for bulls, this is what we want to see. We want to see the bonds moving above the 50-day moving average and keeping on pace there. We also noted that the VIX was lower and it was right at that 20 level. So for Roger, he's going, man, what we want is the bonds to go higher, and we want to see that VIX drop. On the put call ratio, we saw that things were in balance here, so no out of balance there. And he also noted that on the sector rotation, it was favoring those interest sensitive stocks. And those are the ones that are the fast movers. Those are the speculative stocks that you want to see. And that was exciting to him as well. So with the bonds being up, the real question was, will the SPY, the RSP, the QQQ, the SMH, will they follow suit? And will the bonds lift them above that 50-day moving average, which is where they're hanging right now? It's a pretty big area of resistance for them. And he was going like, if things break our way, bonds will pull everything, lift all boats, if you will. So he's excited about that. Also, folks, the caveat was this. You also have to be careful, okay? It is a Tuesday on a holiday week. Normally, Tuesday's not a problem, but it's a holiday week. We know that the markets are going to be closed on Thursday and they're going to be closed Friday afternoon. So once again, from this standpoint, if you don't see an opportunity that absolutely is A plus according to your trading plan, then don't take it. Resist that fear of missing out when you take a look at what's going on. And I thought that was pretty sage advice. So for those of you that are here with us today, once again, it is Tuesday, November 25th. And in today's session, Roger's going to continue to focus on the Alpha Zone Pro and day trading. And he's going to share with us how he draws and uses those intraday levels that he shares with us every morning. He's also going to tell us why day trading options is not an everyday event. Um, He's also going to tell us how and when to take implied volatility into account when you're looking at day trading. He's going to share when to trade market divergence and when to trade market synergy. He's also going to talk about what's going on. He's given a complete analysis of what's happening in the second half of today. So this morning, he shared with us, what he expected to see today. He's going to update us for what he expects for the rest of the day. And on a holiday shortened week, this is important. And lastly, folks, as a bonus, we're going to get an update as to what his afternoon watch list is. Now, if you've got any questions during Roger's presentation, please type them into the chat window and we'll address them periodically throughout the session so as to not interfere with Roger's presentation. Also, folks, remember that the chat is open to everyone. And remember, we have ground rules. Always be kind and supportive in your posts. Please keep to the topic, okay? No political discussions are allowed whatsoever. And please, please, please keep your side conversations to a bare minimum. And let's all focus on the education and the information that Roger's going to be sharing, because after all, he's taking time out of his very busy day to give us an edge in the market and to help us all become much more confident and consistent in our trading activities. And with that, let's say hi to Matt. Let's say hi to Roger. Guys, it's nice to see you today. Roger, I can't believe it's Tuesday. Thanksgiving is 2 days away. Man, I hope this turkey thaws. That's all I got to tell you. I checked it today and it feels like a bowling ball. It's a big one. When you're going to feed like 22 people, it's a big one. But anyway, that's a totally separate issue. Uh, Loved your pre-market brief this morning, the way that you were looking at the markets, and you were in a good mood today. You were going, come on, Bond, stay above the 50-day moving average and lift those indexes with you and let's get rocking and rolling. So how's the day turning out so far?
So far, so good. It was really weird this morning. This morning wasn't really making any sense, but now everything is making perfect sense. So let me actually share my screen. And I always tell folks, and I did mention it this morning, that bonds and stocks don't move. They don't move together. They don't move together. They move, but not like minute by minute.
Right.
So I was getting really excited about the bonds trading above the 50-day moving average, which I still am. They're still trading above the 50-day moving average. This is a little too much too fast, but I'll take it. I'll take it. And by the way, gold is popping right now. Just FYI for all you gold fiends out there. Um, for all you gold fiends out there.
Goldfinger.
Mm-hmm.
Member.
Yeah,
And
good movie. Good movie. We were
hey, and
talking
by the
about
way, just
yes.
as a real quick update on the small caps, nothing brewing there on the
Yeah,
small
yeah, I
caps.
saw it too. Yeah, there was nothing there. Thank you for checking. I do appreciate that. So let's see where's my screen? You should be able to see my screen. No, you can't see my screen. Let me share my screen.
Nope. I see that beautiful palm tree in the background.
Yeah, there you go. A palm tree that never goes anywhere. All right. So, overall, I mean, the bond market is down the last 5 seconds, but the bond market over time has been doing. This is as good as it's going to get, folks. This is really good, and I mentioned that this morning. And then what I said, yeah, there you go, Richard. And then what I also told you is that we need to get and the next probable move is the SPY and all the indexes trading. We're not there yet on the SMH because of Nvidia. But if you look at the mega caps, right, we're above. If you look at QQQ, we're almost there. We're not there yet, but we're almost there. We're moving in the right direction. We're definitely moving in the right direction. Definitely moving in the right direction. And mags are almost at 66, almost at that level. That's going to be the resistance level. So far, I'm really liking what I'm seeing. Volatility is below 20.
Oh, it is now. Okay,
Oh
good.
yeah, we're at
Yeah.
19. We've got ADD at 1469, which is really, really good. Really, really good. Vol's been going straight up all day. And by the way, every time the SPY diverges, look at this. Once, twice, three times, four times. What happened with the SPY? Comes back every time. It diverged 4 times today from the Volt, and the Volt won every time.
Hmm.
Okay. And the market's sitting at the high of the day right now. So I can't, I mean, as I, people always wait for me to say something nasty or something bad, but I don't have anything nasty or bad to say. I told you this morning, momentum levels favoring the bulls. I told you that market internals look pretty good. I told you that VIX is below 20. The SPY is now trading above the 50-day moving average. I mean, we're not out of the danger zone just yet, but this is a lot better than this is a hell of a lot better than being at the 100-day moving average.
Right.
And by the way, we are now above or right at the 8-day EMA, which is about as good as it's going to get. So this is, and that's coming off the highs. So this is a signal here that anybody who bought from here all the way down here is now starting to make money once again. That's good. Notice also, this is like a V bounce. Notice, remember what I was telling you this morning about China? I was telling you how I want to see, what was the market that I said I wanted to see that way? I don't remember which one it was, but I posted it in the Telegram channel. I mean, I talk so much, I don't remember half the things I say. Oh, I think it was crypto. I don't
Yes.
remember, but
Yeah. It was
crypto.
Bitcoin. Yep.
Yeah. Perfect. It was crypto. So yeah, I want to see this. But look, the market is giving us that. It's giving us that. Look, it bounced. It's going higher every day. It's at the high of the day, middle of the day here. So I'm not hating any of this. And by the way, the Volt continues to make swing highs. So from where I'm sitting, I'm loving this. I'm loving this. Now, again, we've got some crucial levels to get up here. We got to get above the mags, above the there's a lot of other things that have to happen, but overall, being here is so much better than being down here.
Hmm.
Because institutions buy when we're above the 50-day moving average. You see, folks, they actually start buying. They actually start buying. Let me see how equal weighted SPY looks. Look at it. Look at this. Look at this. Look
Yeah.
at that. That's
Uh,
nice. Another thing, and I didn't get a chance to tell you this via Telegram, but another thing that I'm liking is if you look, and I have this. This is on my screen all the time. SMH, QQQ, Mags, and RSP. And if you look at the morning when we were just doing the whole, I mean, I was almost getting seasick in the morning when this was going on right here. When this was going on, I was getting seasick. But then we straightened out. We straightened out. I mean, this was just like, what the hell is going on? If the day's going to be like this, we can just give it up now. I was showing pictures of Clyde watching paint dry and underwater, and Harry doing underwater basket weaving when we were doing this. But then we straightened out. The Volt never turned green. I don't, Phil. I'm going to say this for the 1,100th time, and I'm going to say this before, and people here will correct you and tell you how many times I've said it before. Every time I look at Vold, I've never in my life have looked where the Vold is. I only look at the Vold's trend. I never look at where the actual Vold is. I only look at the quality of the trend on a 5-minute chart. How many times have I said that before, folks? Let's see. Let's see if people remember that. If you don't remember that, then I'm glad I'm bringing it up. Walt says many times. Okay. All right. Okay. Many times. 1,000 times. Okay. Okay. Just wanted to make sure I'm not losing 5,005 times. Okay. Okay. All right. Phil is new here. He didn't get the memo just yet. So Phil, I hope by now you got the memo that I don't look, and I've said many times, by the way, in Phil's defense, I've said many times, shamefully, I've never looked at the Vold. Maybe there's an extra edge if it's positive or negative, but I've never looked at it that way. I don't intend to look at it that way. I always look at it just like this. I don't care the level it's at. I just care about how it starts trending. I care about how it looks on a 5-minute chart. All right. All right. And again, I've said there's no inconsistency here. I've said it many times. So let's go back here. Okay. So as much as I would love to create drama and tell you how much, so what I wanted to tell you here was this. So I got off topic. So what I wanted to tell you was this. See how in the morning all this was green, this is the equal weighted SPY. This is the defensive stocks, right? When the market opened, where we were down a little bit and we were doing this, waving going all the way around. Now look what happened after the morning. Tech, SMH, look at QQQ, look at MAGs. They all started coming back to up. Look at relative strength. It's getting better. It got better across the board, and on the defensive stocks, it got worse, which is a good. That's what you want to see. That's what you want to see in the bull market. Okay. Yeah, I don't look at the numbers. And by the way, as I said before, maybe I should have started 20 years ago looking at the Vold numbers, but I never have. I never have because, and I'll tell you why, Phil. Because I always use Vold for intraday price action, and all I care about is see. Here's the reason. And I've explained this too, but this is a good explanation. The reason I'm looking at Vold is I'm looking for wind. I'm looking for wind for my sailboat right now. Okay, not tomorrow, right now. I can't really capture that wind when the market closes. So it's done. So to me, it doesn't really have any relevancy to where it is in the scheme of things because I'm only concerned about that wind on my back right now. Hopefully that makes sense. And I did explain this many times before, but I never look at the Vold from a number perspective. I do, in fact, look at this as from a number perspective. I look at this from a number perspective. I look at this from a number perspective. And these are just levels here. This is the SPY, so obviously, and this is bonds. But I don't look at this from a number perspective. I look at it just from how is it, and I don't even look at it the first half hour of the day. I look at it after the first hour of the day. Okay. Yeah, I just look at the trend. The better the trend on the Vold, the better the divergences between the SPY will usually be. Now, if the Vold right now starts doing this, it's over. But this is just look all day, nonstop, from the morning on. Hey, John. Okay, so but that was a good point because I'm sure other people didn't get it or didn't understand it or just coming in here right now for whatever reason. That was a good good point. All right, so I like what I'm seeing in the market. I really do like what I'm seeing in the market. Now, as I mentioned before, we use the Volt to trade the SPY. Now, a lot of folks are asking me, well, Roger, you drew these levels. You drew these levels on the SPY. How do you use these levels? And how do these levels reconcile with these levels? Okay, now let me just say, since we're continuing the topic from yesterday, remember we were talking about the likely. So this arrow here that's above this line is much better than this arrow here that's reflecting on this. See, price here is too far away from this line, but here price is already above this line, and it's already above so it's already somewhere in this area. So arrows anywhere in this area, like this arrow right here that you see right now that we got about 10, 15 minutes ago, that would qualify. This would not qualify. The problem with this arrow is that's a short signal, and the Vold is going straight up. Okay? So just FYI. But so let me explain to you how these levels, right here coincide with these levels right here. Okay? So number one, when should you be looking at levels? When should you be looking at levels? When markets are not doing what? Let's see if you guys remember this. Moving, choppy, exactly. Do you remember when I launched this program, Alpha Zone Pro? I told you if ADD is at a certain level, we only look here. And if ADD is at a certain level, we only look here. Well, guess what, my friends? Where do you think ADD is today? And we opened at 1328. Exactly. Exactly. So levels, and this is called level to level trading. Level to level trading. Okay. Level to level trading doesn't work well when you have a trending market. That's why I build you two screens. Now, if you were a good student of mine, and if you would have paid attention today, then you would have been able to go from here all the way up here. Why? Because this is where you would be looking today, because ADD is above our threshold. And by the way, if you're all saying, well, you never said that, how many times have I said that? How many courses have I had on it? And how many hours of getting started guide that I teach you that in the Alpha Zone Pro getting started guide? Thank you. That's what I want to hear. I want to make sure that the answers are like constantly, always, 1,000 times. That's what I want to hear. I don't want to hear any, well, maybe you mentioned it. I don't want to hear any of that because I'm very consistent. Uh, all right. So today you don't trade level to level. You want to trade level to level when markets are doing this. Markets are doing this when ADD is not doing this. When ADD is here, you want to do that. Do you remember yesterday I explained something to you? ADD is that ball, and ADD is telling us if that ball is being thrown from 20th story or whether it's being thrown from a baby's arms. And as soon as the market opened today, 1300, 1300, positive, positive, not negative, positive, positive. That's a trending market. That's a trending market. What did I tell you this morning? I said the bonds are beautiful this morning. And what happened to the SPY? We broke the 50-day and we're still going higher. Very nice. Very, very nice. All right. So, exactly. Art, you said, no, Art, I said start, no, I didn't say 1,500. I said start looking at this when it's about 1,200. Anywhere from 1,200 to 1,500 is a good look. Right. And by the time 10 o'clock hit, which was right here, we were at 1255. This is a trendy. And by the way, this was moving up the whole time. The whole time. And VIX was very busy breaking 20. Yeah. Yeah, tick isn't all that high today, but volume isn't very high right now. We don't have any volume coming in. Remember, folks, if you're looking for a formula where, okay, this has to happen and this has to happen, and that, then you need a mechanical trading system. Our job is to find the most common denominators, kind of like this, like what I drew. Let me give you a good example. Here's a good example of what I'm talking about. Look, market internals are strong, bonds are strong, SPY is breaking through the 50-day line, VIX is breaking 20, and tech is gaining relative strength. What are all these things telling us? The odds are, remember, you're trying to capture the odds. This tells us the odds are definitely to the upside right now. There's something major happening. We're breaking the 50-day moving average on the SPY. Let me ask you guys, what could be more important than that? Remember what I explained to you yesterday. The 50-day is when institutions start buying. We're breaking the 50-day moving average. The ADD is at 1,500 and VIX is dropping below 20. I can't think of a more bullish environment than that. I am long Apple, okay? I mean, Apple, okay? Apple. The market is pretty bullish, okay? It's pretty bullish. And if you don't believe me, just look at this trend that we're in right now. That's bullish. That's very bullish. That's the 50-day. It's everything I explained to you this morning and everything that I explained to you yesterday afternoon. And I explained to you yesterday afternoon why the ADD is so important. And today you're seeing a demonstration of it. Remember what I told you? You need to know what kind of a world you're in. You need to know if the ball is going to bounce 20 feet in the air or if the ball's going to bounce 3 feet in the air. This morning is a perfect example of that. Perfect example of that. All right. Okay. You guys understand? This is really important because, and like I said yesterday, let's say you want to scalp. And let's say you usually use 50-cent stop losses. Well, that's telling you the market's going to be really volatile. And it's going to see, you have to read. You have to read. It's kind of like this. I'll give you a good analogy and I'll move on from here. But this is important. You know how some people can read other people well, and some people like communication nonverbal. Well, this is the same thing. This is giving you the big picture. This is like knowing, hey, if somebody's smiling at you, maybe it's a good time to ask them for a favor. But if somebody's coming to you and they're crying and going, my boyfriend just left me, I don't know what I'm gonna. Maybe it's not a good time to ask them for a question. Common things like that. Sometimes you have to step back and just take everything I taught you and just put it in perspective and use it as a don't try to isolate one little thing. Look at it all together. Step away and look at the forest from the trees. Tim says a light bulb moment for me. Well, there you go. See? And again, we talked about this yesterday. So remember I told you yesterday, this was really important. And I said to you, I don't care if you day trade the SPY indexes or if you swing trade stocks. You need to understand these things because this will tell you the characteristic of the market. This will tell you what you got coming your way. Okay? This will tell you, are you playing with professional basketball players or are you playing with toddlers? This will tell you that. And this does not lie. Okay? When the market was doing this today, right here, I was looking at this and this, which was already trending up. I'm like, I don't know. I don't know about this chop. And we straightened out. So this is really important. It's really important. All of these things are important, but you got to know when to look at what and what's relevant and whatnot. And I'm really glad we had that session yesterday and this morning, because a lot of what's happening, if a lot of what happened yesterday, what I explained to you yesterday, is actually very useful right now as we speak. Okay. Excuse me. All right. So now you have a good understanding of this. So now how do my levels, well, thank you for the nice words. I do appreciate it. And by the way, the run up is only getting higher in the market. Let me just reposition my charts so I could see what the hell I'm doing. And then we can move on from there.
It's interesting also looking at the point of control, Roger. I mean,
yes.
the value.
Well, that's actually, yeah. So you see, this is our balance area right here. And look, we came here. Let me bring this up. So folks, this is also really important. I'm glad you liked it, Carla. So good to hear. And if you were there this morning, I don't know I think you were there. I think I saw your name this morning. We talked about a lot of this happening today. Remember how happy I was? I was almost giddy.
You were.
I was very happy about that. I was like, oh, this is about as good as it can get. This is about as this is so good. Remember how happy I was about the bond market? This is really good. This is really good. This is about as good as it can get. Do you remember those words coming out of my mouth?
Absolutely. And then you looked at the VIX and said, "Holy smoke, look at this."
Yeah. So there's no so we're going to talk a little bit about all this. So these are levels. Where's my EC2000? These are levels. These are levels. So the first thing you need to know is, it is, Phil, it is. The first thing you need to know is the market trending or choppy? If you don't know if the market's trending or choppy, this will tell you very quickly. Okay? This will tell you very, very quickly. Are you in this type of a world or are you in a flight mode? We're in flight mode today. We were in flight mode today. Now, how do you use these levels? Well, a few things I'm going to tell you. If you're in flight mode, these levels are not going to work, Phil. These levels work when markets are choppy. or when this gives up, we're going to start looking at these levels. So when markets are trending like they're trending right now, levels don't work well. And I'll explain to you why. Because when you have huge amount of volume like this, that means you have institutional money driving price. Institutional money doesn't look at your levels or anything like that. You know who looks at levels? Algos. Algos are trading when markets are doing nothing. How often does the market not do anything? 80% of the time. That's when these levels work. Why do they work? Because the algos are programmed. They're like spiders. They go like this with low volume. They probe. They probe. Oh, we can't break it. Oh, let's go. They go to a path of least resistance. So they go up and test a level. Then they go down and test a level. Then they go come back and test a level. So the reason why these market internals, and I explained this yesterday, I explained to you that you only want to look at levels, because these levels, remember these levels, how did I come up with these levels? I got them from overnight data. How did these levels generate themselves overnight? Algos pinging at night. You don't have institutional traders trading at night. You have computers trading at night. Okay. All right. Really, really important to understand. So the first rule is stop using these levels when markets are trending, especially when they're breaking key levels, because this triggers institutional buy programs. That triggers real buying. Okay. That's not algos. That's real buying. Okay. All right. So the first rule is stop using my levels when markets are trending. They're not going to work for you. Duh. They only work when markets are not doing anything. The good news, Phil, is markets aren't doing anything about 75, 80% of the time. By looking at the ADD, you will know instantly if the markets are doing something or if they're not. If ADD is below 1,000 and just kind of sitting there like this, probably not. Probably not. There's probably not. This is the fastest way to see if there's real activity or not in the market. Like I said, is the ball being dropped? Okay, your job is to catch a ball, and your job, and this is gonna answer the question of, is the ball being dropped from a 30th story building, or is the ball being dropped from a toddler's hands? That's what this is telling you. This is the steering wheel. This is telling you how far the steering wheel is move left or to the right. Okay, that's what this is telling you. All right. So today is not a good day to trade levels unless ADD starts coming back down to below 1,000. Okay, 1,200, 1,000. I'm giving you rough figures, and usually it doesn't go much above 1,700. This is a very strong trend. This is very strong institutional buying. This is not algos. But with algos, as I mentioned before, all they do is probe. They climb and they probe. They go pump, 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 and then they probe again. See, market makers, and I hope all of this is coming together for you guys. Remember what I told you, these levels are created by VWAP. They're created by implied volatility from this morning's options, right? Market makers moves, these and these. Well, they can't calculate trends. They can't calculate momentum. It's impossible, because it's impossible for them to predict the amount of buying that's going to come into anything. What they can do is they can predict reactionary moves, okay? Expected moves. But expected moves and real momentum are day and night. So what they're really good at is figuring out where the tops are based on support and resistance. And when the support resistance, so let me explain it to you in a way maybe you guys will understand. And I think a lot of people are getting it. And I'm not suggesting that you're not. I just want to make sure you guys are. So here, let me give you an example. Okay. When markets are doing this, which is 75% of the time, levels work beautifully. Beautifully, okay? When markets are doing this, when ADD is above is not here, but up here. See how yesterday, remember market wasn't choppy all day. Look at it today. ADDs at 1600, opening up at 1300. There's something going on in the market. That ball is not being dropped from a child's hands. There's a good chance we're going to see this. You don't see it very often. You see it about 20% of the time. So when you see a market like this, that's when you take the Pro Trader dashboard and you start looking for trends. Look at this entry. You would have still been long, by the way. Okay? Otherwise, you look here. So 80% of the time you're going to look here because the ADD is not going to be at 1500 or 1200 or anything like that. Excuse me. So again, the first thing you need to know is, capiche? You guys understand? Markets do two things. They trend. Here, let me delete all this crap. And folks, what I'm teaching you right now is market structure. And market structure is infinitely more important than anything else I could be teaching you. Okay? So, look, markets do two things. They do this and they do this. Levels, oscillators, levels. See this oscillator? This oscillator right here? This oscillator will be just stuck right here at the top the whole time. It's useless when you're directionally trading. Okay? All of those RSI, stochastic, MACD, my oscillators, you can't use them when the market is trending. Okay? You can only use them when markets are choppy. The good news is markets are usually choppy. So you don't have to really worry about it too much. This is once every 5-10 days. This is almost every day. So when you see, how do you know? How do you know? Well, you have eyes, but more importantly, this, ADD. It tells you what's to come. If you see ADD opening at 1400, you should think it's going to be this kind of a day. If you see ADD opening up at 750, 500, up or down, you should consider it that it's going to be this kind of day unless proven otherwise. Now, how often will you be right? How often will you be right if it's that kind of a day? How often will you be right? You'll be right about 90% of the time just by following the ADD. I'm telling you, this will tell you what side you should be focused on. Okay? And folks, believe it or not, I know I keep saying the same thing over and over again. It's really important to know, are you choppy or are you trending? One of the biggest mistakes that traders make is, they go to a class, some idiot tells them that, hey, this oscillator is the best thing since sliced bread, but he doesn't give them context, which is what I'm giving you right now, and saying, yeah, but by the way, it doesn't work when markets are trending. Oscillators only work when markets are choppy. By the way, so you need to understand this. This is important, whether you're day trading or swing trading. Similarly, let's say you're a swing trader. Let's say you're like a day trading. Forget about it. Okay, open up your ears. This is where 80% of the move, this happens 20% of the time, but this is where 80% of the move occurs on your stocks. So this is real. That's why this is really important. This is why when I come into the office after this whole hour and 20 minutes of talking to you guys, the first thing I look at is the ADD because it's too early for the Vold. So I look at the ADD because the ADD is telling me, am I expecting the ball to move or am I expecting the usual? And the first thing I tell you here, look at my first note. Every single day, look at my first note in the Trading Zone Live room. Let me show you. The first note every day. ADD is very strong. Look, 941. ADD is very strong. ADD is very strong. The biggest factor is whether the major indices get above the 50-day line. That is the number one priority for today. I didn't say it at 12:30. I said it at 9:41. So you can't play the Monday, the whole Monday quarterback game. See you later, Richie. I'll see you soon. Okay, and look at the day before. First thing that always comes out of my mouth. Now, that's nice. I don't like the ADD. I don't like the ADD. See that? How did ADD is negative 33 while stocks are on fire? Remember what I told you yesterday? Stocks opened up on fire. ADD wasn't going anywhere. I wasn't expecting anything. The ADD doesn't lie. So when I tell you that this is really important, this is the first thing I look at when the market opens. Okay. Regardless if I'm swing trading, if I'm day trading, if I'm not trading, it's the first thing that I'm going to look at. Okay. I want to know, am I playing a game with a ball that's deflated or a ball that's on steroids? Okay. And think about it. If there's more volatility, shouldn't your stop losses be bigger? Shouldn't you assume you're going to have more risk? Shouldn't you be making smaller position sizes? See how you're starting to think? That's what traders think about, not whether they're going to be right or wrong on the next trade. Okay? All right. So, but now let's just assume that the market is choppy. Okay? Let's just assume that we don't have high vol. We don't have high vol, but let's just assume the market's doing what it usually does, which is nothing. Matt says, huge advantage, understand. This is why I keep harping about it. Think about it. If it's the first thing I look at when I come to work, don't you think you should know how to use it and what it means? All right.
Hey, Roger, along
Yes.
those lines, once again, we know that the market internals are critical to you. There's a question from Wesley. He says, one of the things I note is that the Volt is really kind of squirrely for the first 20 minutes. And I know, Roger, you prefer to really start looking at the markets after the first half hour. Has that
Yes.
something to do with that also, Raj?
To be quite honest with you, Wesley, I think that most of the time when the VIX is below 20, it's actually not that squirrely, but it would make sense. It's a volatility index. You know, the first half hour is very chaotic. So the vol is going to be chaotic, which is one of the reasons why I don't do anything. And that's one of the reasons why I don't put any attention into the vol the first half hour. Even when I write about it, I say that it's too early for the vol. I say it every morning. It's too
Yep.
early for the vol when I
Yep.
give my ADD.
The ADD
Yes.
is the only thing you look at. It's the first thing you look
Yes.
at. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I may look at the Volt, but I mean, it's not going to say anything. It's not going to give me anything. I'm telling you that ADD is. Are you playing basketball with a 6'5" Kareem Jabbar, or are you playing basketball with a little 3 foot kid? I'm not kidding. That's what the ADD is. That's what it is. Really important. Um, Yeah, and I'm not really, and honestly, I'm not that big on it, whether this is trending up or down. Although it's nice and it helps. But I just kind of want to see the absolute number. And what you'll see is it'll open up, and then within 15 minutes it'll just fall apart. That's why the first half hour is very, temperamental. I think that's a good way to put it. Very, very temperamental. Okay, so any other questions before we move on?
Yeah, there were several people were wonder that I think are new, and that's wonderful that they're new here, and they keep on coming back to. So what is the ad? What is the ad again? What the heck is that?
Advanced decline line. It's
Yeah,
okay. So
yeah,
it calculates in the stock market how many stocks are opening above or below yesterday's close. So typically, I don't know if you guys know this yet or not, because you're usually, if a stock doesn't open above yesterday's price, it just doesn't do much that day.
right.
So it's kind of like this. If you know how you have a gap, you have a lot more volatility than if you have no movement. Well, this is telling us how many stocks are doing this or this. Basically, it's telling us how many stocks are jumping in the air in the opening and how many are just sitting there going, "Oh, I didn't have my coffee yet. I'm just gonna." So the way I'm always looking at it is the more stocks jump up in the air, they'll stay up in the air. Once in motion will be in motion. Whereas if a stock opens flat, it'll just kind of stay flat. So this is what that tells me. So this is telling me how much, hey, is there a lot of stocks participating? Is there a lot of stocks moving? You can't have trends without movement in stocks. So this is the movement part. You understand? This is basically telling us is it an 8.0 earth? Okay. You guys ever been in an earthquake? When you
No,
have
yeah, I
well,
know.
but some people have. When people you
Yeah,
have the bigger the earthquake, the bigger the aftershocks, right? The smaller the earthquake, the smaller the aftershocks. That's what this is. It's telling us how big the that's what it is. It's telling us how many are jumping up or down at the open or near the open or at any given time. And this is telling us that a hell of a lot of stocks are trading above yesterday's price. And there
Right.
you know what else this is telling us? That a lot of those stocks had a gap and go. In other words, they opened higher and then they just were bought up from there.
Hmm.
On a holiday week, that's not common. But again, we're breaking the 50-day moving average.
That's
Greg,
great,
totally
Roger.
different
Thank you for
question. Totally.
that. Thank you.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
once
yeah.
again, we love the fact that we've got new people here in the room. And once again, it's just this is something that Roger goes through every day, every day, every day. So if you're new to us, please come back because you're going to learn an awful lot. Thank you, Roger.
Yeah, not a problem. Let me just for a few minutes, let me just talk about levels. So let's assume that it's a regular day. The market is not breaking the 50-day moving average. It doesn't happen every day. Um, I'll tell you a little. This is on point. This is a really funny on point story. So when I first started the pit, the week I started the pit in the summer as a experiment. Remember, like 2 years ago.
Yep.
So when I started the pit, literally that week, and it wasn't timed that way, the SPY was breaking down the 50-day moving average, down the 50-day moving average. And we had like for a good like 2, 3 weeks, we had like the most beautiful shorts because that there's a lot of liquidity around that 50-day moving average. So, and I know a lot of you guys remember that it was only a couple of years ago, but remember the summer we were literally breaking the 50-day moving average, and that's a very high probability move when the stock market breaks a major average. Remember, stocks are being bought when they're above the 50-day moving average. So when you go from below the 50-day to above the 50-day, you can be assured. Let me just put it to you this way. This is institutions right here. This is shit. This is institutions coming in. But look when they started coming in, well into the day, like 11:15 on a Tuesday, on a huge holiday. That's huge. 50-day moving average. 50-day moving average. Sorry, I don't mean to get so excited about this, but that's really important for the market. That's
No, but it's great because it's just pointing to everything that you've been saying, Roger.
Yes,
And today
yes,
is
it
a
is.
great example of it.
Yeah, 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 yeah. It actually confirms a lot of what I'm not going to say, hey, to say I told you so, but we've been talking about all of this for a while now.
Hmm.
Okay, all right. So let's just assume that the markets are not breaking through the 50-day. Let's just say that it's a typical everyday day, not a day like today. Um, yeah, we had a good with that Oracle trade in the pit. That was a good one. So let's now talk about these levels. How do we use these levels? Well, remember I explained to you we look at these arrows. So what you would do is this. You would take these levels. You would take these levels right here. Okay. If you don't have the Alpha Zone Pro, then you can't take these. But what you would do is you would take these levels and you would put them here. Okay. And you would call and you would make leave them a different colors so you know they're secondary levels. And the way I use these levels, okay, and again, I'm going to say it again in case you didn't hear me. They're nowhere nearly as effective on a trend day. They're very effective on a choppy day because what we're doing is we're seeing where algos went and couldn't get past several times at night. And all they're doing is they're going and they're looking for weaknesses. They go pow, pow, pow. Okay, I can't get through. So then they go down. So we mark that using the overnight data, right? Right here. This is the overnight data. We use that right here to mark these levels because this is when algos are going crazy. There's not a lot of people trading right here, and then we project them into the future. Our levels were based on this. Okay. So if the markets are choppy, you could see right here, look how well these levels hold. Look how well they hold right here. But when the markets are trending, it just doesn't work. Thanks, iPhone. Nice to hear. So again, my point is use these as secondary levels. Well, Roger, what exactly do you mean by secondary levels? Okay. Secondary levels are levels you want to wait for those levels. So let's say it's a level that's above you. Okay. Let's just say that let's just use this level right here. Okay. Let me take a screenshot of it so I could draw on it. I really do want to help you guys as much as I can. And I think a lot of you are really close. A lot of you are really close. So this is an image, right? This is just a screenshot. So here's a level, okay? Just a random level. I'm just drew it for example, but let's say this level had meaning, okay? So I would look for this, right? And I would wait to see if this breaks or if it reverts higher. And so let's say I'm going long, okay? Hypothetically speaking, let's say I'm going long. I would use this as a VWAP. I would use this as a level to see if we can test and not break. And as we're I would buy as we're coming back up above this level right here. Okay. Conversely, let's say I want to take a short. I would wait for us to break this level and confirm a breakdown like this. So let me show you. My suggestion is to take a screenshot for yourself right now. That's how I use these levels. Capiche?
Yep.
I tried to draw them very cleanly for you. Do you guys understand what I just did? Look, we're moving up. We're moving up. I want to go long. No, I'm not going long yet. Oh, sorry. Not going long yet. Now I'm going long. I want to go short. I want to go short. I want to go short. Do I go short? No. Now I go short. Do you guys understand?
Hmm.
You guys understand what I just showed you? Okay. And I'm not trying to be sarcastic or anything like that. I just want to make sure you guys understand what I'm saying.
And I know that, Roger, you drew that one hypothetically, but in real world, you would have looked left and you would have said, ah, this has happened in the past. The level is reinforced
Yes.
by what
Yes,
happened in the
exactly.
past. And you said, and that's what's so critical about that.
Yeah. Yeah. And sometimes they don't come back and touch these levels. That's okay as long as they do this, that's okay. As long as even if they go back above that level and then come down, that's okay too.
It's okay. Yep.
That's a confirmation.
It's a
That's
strong
a confirm.
confirmation. Yep.
Yeah, that's a confirmation. So that's how you would use these levels on your own, or that's how you would use these levels. This is how you would use these levels. So I'm going to show it to you again. Okay. I hope you guys understand. It's not hard. Your levels for this AM and PDD just made me 441% on the SPY.
Oh,
Nice. Yeah, yeah. More, you don't need more than one test. So look, prices. So here's what a beginner would do. I'm long. Here's what a pro would do. Capiche?
hmm.
So here's what a beginner would do. Oops. Here's what a beginner would do, and here's what a pro would do. Okay?
Just looking for that confirmation. And Roger, you said one of the things that you mentioned is that the times when levels don't have much meaning is when the markets are really trending. And in those
Yes.
particular cases, your lines that you're drawing, they just blow through those levels.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
So now
yeah.
and this is gonna be the last segment I'm gonna teach you. So, well, Roger, okay, fine. You've explained to us what happens when markets are trending. And okay, I mean when they're choppy, fine, we get it. But what about when markets are trending? What do we do then? HA, the HAs. There's nothing like the HAs. Remember, reversal candles, when markets are trending, HA candles are your best friend. These are your best friend. Flat bottom. Here, let me delete this crap.
Yeah, the Heikinachis. Yep.
Yeah. Okay. If a market is trending, HAs are your best friend. Okay? Are your best friend. What do you want? You want a flat bottom green to go long, and you want a flat bottom red to go short. The bigger the candle, the better it is. If the candle's tiny, you want to wait for a confirmation. It's really easy. So if the market is here, let me just draw this. I want to start I'm going to have a class right now. Today's going to be the last day we're going to do the Alpha Zone Pro. But folks, am I giving you like red hot value today or what? So, so yeah, HA.
Heikinachi. It's a type of
H
candle. Yep.
A candles. These are HA candles right here. These are HA candles right here. So right here. So when markets are trending, you have a nice trend like this, you have a nice move like this. Don't use stupid technical indicators. Use HA candles. They'll identify a nice pullback, and when the pullback's over, they'll give you a HA reversal candle. That's a HA reversal candle. That's a flat bottom green candle is when you start going long. A flat bottom red candle is when you start going short. Tomorrow, I'm going to do some demonstrations and actually show you HA candles in action and show you when to use them and when not to use them. Now, my question is, are you guys getting value out of this today? See, Clyde is underwater basket weaving, but I'm here to help you.
Which is a good trick if you're a cat.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Did you see those pictures today, Raleigh?
I know. I mean, Roger, you're going insane. They're getting better and better and better. It's just like, what can you think of? What kind of an outfit? What kind of a position can I?
Hey, all jokes aside, I'm going to tell you what I've been thinking about. This is not funny. This is actually serious. I have a cousin. She works in LA. She's my dad's sister's daughter. She's about 40, 42 years old. It's my cousin, and she's really talented, and she's a graphic designer. You know what she does for a living? She has a very cool job. She draws those posters for movies. When people,
Oh,
like
the
those.
promotional posters?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah. The ones that make it onto well, I wanted to say DVD, but there's no more DVDs. But the ones you see on TV when you're renting a movie, or
yeah. Or
the
if you
one you
go
see on the
into the
bill.
theater, the posters are up.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. And she's been doing it for decades. She's been doing it for as long as I can remember, probably 20, since she was a child, since she was 20 years old. My question is, and honestly, I'm going to ask her next time I see her, but how the hell, like I can make like any drawing I want, and I can't draw to save my life. I can't draw a straight line, okay? I'm the worst artist in the history of the world, okay? And I just tell these AI machines what I want, and they just draw them on the spot. So I'm
Hmm.
thinking, how the hell are these people who are in the industry? How are they going to survive in the next 5, 10 years?
Right.
I mean, it's right. I mean,
It's just Roger. It's a fair and it's a serious issue.
yeah, you see my Picassos exactly, Wesley. Right. There you go.
Right.
That's about as good as they're going to get. Let's see.
Especially when you're doing sort of nuanced stuff like, yeah, obviously, for example, I don't think you're going to replace a Van Gogh, but when it just
No,
comes for
no, no.
commercially usable graphic images, if you're a graphic artist, you you've got a serious challenge. Somebody can turn around and do a chat GBT work of art
I mean, look
literally
at
in
this.
5 minutes for nothing.
I mean, I give them a picture of my dog and I say, make dog go underwater basket weaving. And 5 seconds later, I have this. So I'm thinking to myself, and I don't know how to, and I'm telling you, I do not know how to draw to save my life.
Oh, oh, me too.
I mean, that's just, so to me, I'm like, how are these people going to survive? I don't know. It's just, it makes me maybe I'm missing something, and
Mhm.
maybe I'm missing something, but I don't know. And I'm assuming it's the same thing for musicians. Is that it, Raleigh, right
Yeah,
now?
I tell you what, a lot of musicians are very, very concerned because music supervisors at this point in time are finding it easier to go to AI, for example, especially if they're looking for spot jingles and things of that nature. Much lower cost than licensing from a real artist. So, but anyway, interesting thing. I love the comment here that was made by Jason. Anytime there's a shift in technology, you have to reinvent yourself. And that's true. Roger,
Yeah,
in the
yeah.
trading game, how many people that traded the Chicago Mercantile
Ooh.
Exchange, were impacted with online trading occurred.
Oh my God.
And it
Oh
just, I mean, and
yeah,
that's what
yeah,
you have to
yeah.
do. You have to be nimble, embrace it as a tool, figure out how you can leverage it, and go from there.
Yeah, and I use Google's AI tool, by the way. I find it to be the easiest and the best, and
Yeah,
we have it because at the company here that we work, that Raleigh and I work for, we get it for free, so it's fun, and
mhm.
people like it, so I'm going to do it till they don't. Anyways, look, I'm going to give you guys a class on AlphaZone Pro. I believe today is the last day we're doing this.
It
Um,
is.
I
Yep.
Yeah, and I'm really happy about the market. I like what I'm seeing, and I don't mean like every millisecond. I mean generally speaking, I really do like what I'm seeing, and I'm hopeful that we'll break through and we'll continue this move because this is a very nice move, and also not only is it a nice move, this move is telling us that the market, the fact that we're moving off the 100 days so quickly. And remember what I told you, the faster another thing that I said, the faster that we move back up, the better it'll be because the more time we spend here, the bears will become emboldened. So the fact that we moved this quickly back up and erase this candle, very, 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 very good look for the market. All right,
Yep.
folks, please pay attention. I'm going to close the chat because I won't be able to pay any attention. Um, I appreciate all of you. Please pay attention. If you haven't joined Alpha Zone Pro, I think today's the last day. I highly recommend you do. And this will solidify a lot of the things that I've been talking about. And tomorrow, I'll talk about Raleigh. Do me a big favor. Can you write for notes for me and just post them for me later? HA and implied vol HA and implied volatility for tomorrow.
Sure.
And just
Absolutely.
I appreciate it, man. I'm all over the place. All right, folks, this is it. Let's do this. All right. Let's do this. Now, we're going to show you some trades. Most of these trades, if not all of these trades, were actually taken when we were doing sample trades in the pit. But again, this is a software. I don't know what you're going to, software, everybody uses it differently. It's like a video game. I can play a video game and I'll have one experience, you can have another. So my point here is take it slow and easy. This is a very, very powerful tool if you use it the right way. Now, folks, there will be losers. If you're one of those people who wants to trade and not lose money, just stop now. Go to Vegas. At least you'll get comped. Okay. A lot of folks got into this racket because they feel like they can make a limited amount of money in the fastest amount of time. Trading is the hardest quick money you will ever make in your life. The reason for that is because you have to get your psychology in order. Getting your psychology in order is infinitely more difficult than learning how to trade. Infinitely more. You know what's harder for me? What's harder for me than to trade? Teaching people how to trade. It's hard. It's hard. Psychology. You can't get into people's heads. Okay. Now, folks, there's no black box miracle system that prints out winning trades on demand. My name is Roger Scott, and you might know me as the founder of the Pro Trader Dashboard. It's a very cool tool that looks at price action and gauges the relationship between the indexes and stocks. So you could trade individual stocks. This is something different. So it's a very powerful tool that tracks stocks institutions are buying or selling in real time. If you follow me, you know that the Pro Trader Dashboard has done it's been doing very well for us. I've used it to deliver alerts to over 1,700 retail traders, and the results have been fantastic. Okay, um, don't and like the Oracle trade, that Oracle trade I gave you this morning, last night that you guys took profit on this morning. That's not even a bonus trade. But it was a nice win. I don't even count those. Okay, I don't even count those. You know, don't take my word for it. Now, what do people have to say? Your 90% win rate on trades I've taken. Get down with your bad self, brother. Thank you, Roddy. Dave, I made 13,000 profit. The amount, $58,000. Kirk, Texas Kirk. Eagle Beagle. I think Eagle Beagle did really well today. I saw him posting something about making really good money today. And there's Chris, $17,900. Very nice. There's Richie. I'm going to see Richie in April, and hopefully I'll see him before that. But that's our first meeting. That's the first time we ever we've ever met, and it was in front of. We had a session in front of I think 70 people. This time in April, we're going to have over 100 there. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. Shelton, I took my small $2,000 account and turned it into 17,000 in just 6 weeks. Wow. Dave, 6,200. We have a lot of Daves. We do have a lot of Daves. I'm up $6,278. Alan, I'm up $85,000 from 16. That's fantastic. There's Joanne, $10,000 this month. And I got another one from Joanne where she was up almost 300K. So Joanne is doing very, very well. She's happy. 1 second. Check some. Oh, sorry about that. Uh, John said, just send me a pic of brand new. That's his daughter, Betsy. And Richie bought his daughter a car too. I have it, but it's in another webinar deck. It's not in this one. But people buying their daughter cars. Omar, we got to know what you're spending money on. That's what we got to know. We got to know what Omar is buying. Maybe Omar is just saving. I don't know. I have over 100 successful trading experiences from your alert. If people still question it, uh, yeah, it's the real deal. I don't even have this document anymore. We stopped doing that a couple of years ago. It started getting too big, so we just have our own. I have my own Telegram, my own Slack channel, and we post them there. Raleigh usually posts them for me. Really nice of him. Now, as great as those stories are, it pales in comparison to what I've got for you today. Okay. Back in 2023, Chicago Board of Option Exchange came out with a really cool tool. What this tool was, it was daily options. You could take these options and you could strip out everything except implied volatility, and you could see what the expected move is by the market makers, okay? Which is very, very valuable. And that's two of the levels that we use in the Alpha Zone Pro. Aside from that, these options became very popular and very, very liquid. A lot of folks started trading them. And a lot of folks were able to take little moves can turn into big gains. They're very, very leveraged. Not within a week, not overnight, but in 60 minutes or less. Average trade lasts, I don't know. Well, how long do you think the average trade lasts, Matt? 10, 15 minutes?
Yeah.
15, 20 minutes. Yeah. Opening the door for anyone with a regular brokerage account to target moves like 62% in 29 minutes, 71 in 37 minutes, 137 in 47 minutes, all from half a percent move on the underlying asset. Now, as crazy as that sounds, you will find this leverage on indexes. And somebody here asked me, which one do I trade? I'll show you what's the best one to trade. I'll show you the best one to trade. But as a general rule, you could always trade the S&P 500. Okay. You can't really use this on Microsoft, Apple, and Google. You can, in theory, on Thursdays and Fridays because the options, they have Fridays options. But I don't really see the need to, and I've never done that, and I'm not going to vouch for it. I've never seen any benefit of doing that. Now, you might know the ProTrader dashboard was optimized for individual stocks. What it does is compares the SPY, the index, to the stock. But I had a different idea. I said, what if I can apply my analysis to the index markets, to the SPY, the QQQ, SMH, the Russell 2000? That way we can increase our average win by about 5 times on the same size move, okay? I knew that if this was possible, it would be very, very popular, explosive, punchy, and people would really ask me for it a long time. So I said, I'll do it. So I had Matt and Brian develop a system to do this. Now, I had this in my head for about 3 years before I asked them to do it. So it was an ideal many years in making. Now, the SPY is very, very liquid, and it basically encompasses 500 of the biggest stocks in the USA. So we tested it first to make sure it was kosher in the pit. I gave you all the trades live. We created what might be the most innovative day trading system for the SPY out there, Alpha Zone Pro. It's a multidimensional trading platform that tells you when the SPY will break out and revert back to the magnet, or break down and revert back to the magnet, which is the middle ground, before it happens. It does not use traditional technical indicators that were invented before you were born. Okay. People get shocked when I tell them that, hey, these were not made, designed, tested, or ever used for stocks. These are commodity and currency indicators. What? Yeah. Nobody was swing trading stocks in 1974. Okay. Throw them out. All right. Since the official launch this year, new members have been doing well with Alpha Zone Pro. As a matter of fact, we got a lot. Raleigh, correct me if I'm wrong, but we got a bunch of testimonials today, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, while we were here. Harold, $5,600. Harold was late to my morning meeting this morning. It's okay, Harold. I forgive you. Kurt made $1,600. Texas Kurt. This is Stu. Stu's he's a MIT grad. He wrote a book. I'm in his book as how to make money. So if you read Stu's book, I'm in there. Phil, 5 for 5 with Alpha Zone Pro. There's Richie. This is when Richie was trading small. This is a long time ago. A really good day on the SPY. I made 5,000, Larry. I'm up 3,500 today on Alpha Zone Pro. I remember when I was excited to make this much in the entire month. Sherman started the month strong with 52,000 in his first month, but then a few weeks later, he ended the month with 121,000, which I think is pretty good. And one of my top traders, Bugs, well, on Tuesday, he was up 65,000. And on Friday, he made 122K. And Stefan said, I reached it by personal $150,000 goal, which is fantastic. And last week, Omar sent me his results for the third week of November. 937. I got one from Omar this morning. Omar is now over 5 million, and he made 100K just yesterday. And the market wasn't great yesterday. Awesome job, Omar. It's all thanks to Alpha Zone Pro. And while things might look complex at first, I made it really simple. Anyone with a pulse can use it. Here's how it works. Before you start trading, AlphaZone Pro automatically calculates the SPY's likely move for the day, the probable move for the day, and the max move for the day. Okay? Price in a regular market when we don't have crazy trends, which is 75-80% of the time, it really is that much. When the SPY's not doing anything, these levels are your best friends. 95 out of 100 days, the SPY will not close outside of the max move. These zones are based on the implied volatility that the market makers set in those daily options, which we're going to talk about in a minute. That big thing. This is why those options are so useful to me. It's not that it's not just because that I can buy cheap options. There was other ways to skin this cat. Okay, but now we have these levels thanks to this, and that's important. Didn't have these levels before 2 years ago, which means we're using the odds already calculated by market makers because those are their levels. They are the market makers' expected moves. That's what they're expecting. They're pricing their options based on those levels and applying it on our charts. Now, that's because the market makers will try everything humanly possible to keep price within that zone so they don't lose money. Okay. We want to look for breakouts when price approaches the max move to the downside. And we want to look for breakouts when price approaches the max move to the downside and look for breakdowns when price reaches the max move to the upside. Okay. Really, really important. Okay. For example, right here, the SPY approaches the max move to the upside and then immediately reverses back into the zone. 67% gain in 45 minutes. And later that day, SPY came down near the max move on the day, and a few minutes of sideways price action, it shot back into the zone as expected. Look at that, 52% in 52 minutes. And a lot of folks send me emails, nice emails, real good emails. Watch it happen a few days later. Most traders would have seen a chart like this and probably would have run for the hills. But AlphaZone Pro signaled that the SPY was approaching the max move to the downside, meaning it was extremely likely to reverse back into the zone. Knowing that, anyone could have placed a trade right there, and sure enough, the SPY immediately reversed back into the zone. And after reaching the upside target, the SPY sold off and broke down as expected. That would have been 2 double-digit wins in just over 1 hour. 47%, 68%. Now, as great as it is to know where price will stay 95% of the time, that's just the tip of the iceberg. But do you understand why I made 2 windows? I didn't want to leave you hanging when SPYs are trending. I wanted you to capitalize on that. That was the second part of it. In addition to the max move, AlphaZone has proprietary momentum indicator that you won't find anywhere else on the planet. It helps you. What it does is it helps you confirm those ebbs and flows are real. And to my knowledge, it's the most responsive momentum indicator in existence. It does not have lag. I took divergence away, okay? The way it works is very straightforward. When a momentum indicator turns from red to yellow, and if you're colorblind, you could use this. It's the same thing as this. It just doesn't have a histogram. They're identical, okay? So when red to yellow means the SPY has bottomed out and is likely to break out to the upside, okay? Red to yellow equals breakout to the upside, okay? Now, it works the same way to the downside. When the momentum goes from blue to yellow, it means we're coming down, coming down. Blue to yellow means breakdown, breakdown, breakdown. Now, most people think you need price to move up or down to measure momentum. And that's a big problem with most momentum indicators out there. They wait for price to move before signaling a breakout or a breakdown. That means by the time you actually get the entry signal, it's too late to profit since the move is already halfway over. The decision, and this is where people get really confused. See, this is called marking up price. This is marking up price. You don't mark up price till you know you have the demand for that price, and that's decided right here. A lot of folks think this is where this is all decided right here. No, this is decided right here. Okay? It's here, right there. The breakout is the result of the accumulation that happened right here. Okay? That's why you need a momentum indicator that has zero lag. One that tells you when the stock will break out or break down before the price makes a move. And guess what Alpha Zone Pro does? Here's how it works. Take a look at the hypothetical candlestick wicks, 10 to 9. In this case, most traders would agree that momentum has been completely flat, right? Wrong. Momentum has actually been increasing while the price remains stuck between $9 and $10. This is hypothetical, obviously, just to illustrate a point for you. All right. Now, you see, when you dive in and actually analyze the candlestick bodies and look where they closed for the day, you could see that the candlestick closes were trending higher and higher each time. Internal momentum was increasing. In other words, the market makers were accumulating shares before marking up their price. And that's why what makes Alpha Zone Pro so darn useful. It measures the internal momentum of sideways trading action in real time, giving you a chance to get in front of what could be the next breakout, not 10 steps behind or breakdown, okay, before it actually starts really moving. And based on the testing we've seen, the accuracy is on a whole new level. Let's say you had $1,000 to invest. Shortly after the market opens, before you even had your coffee, 490 in profit, 430. And notice the times were in the trades. Nothing too, crazy. 510, 1270, 790, 480, 570. It did not miss once. Altogether, that would have been $4,500 in profit from one day of trading. That could have been enough to hang out and have some fun with your family. Wake up the next morning and do it all over again. 490 in 27 minutes, 970 in 67, 1410 in 93, 420 in 24. Take a little lunch break, a little salami sandwich, 390 and 790, 440 and 21. Now, don't get too carried away. Losers are part of the game too, and that's why you should never risk more than you can afford to lose. But so far, folks have been loving Alpha Zone Pro. Matter of fact, I think we got some really good testimonials today while we were here. What do people say? Debbie says, Roger, I'm loving the SPY trades. Thanks for letting the pit members be part of the beta testing. That's what I always do. I gave the pit members like 3 to 4 months of beta testing. George, 3 for 3, SPY trades up over $500. You guys are absolutely killing it. 5,000 on that last one. Sean, thank you. Thomas in at 78, out at 70 at 140. Very nice. Please give Matt a pat on the back for that SPY trade. Close it out with 131% gain. Thank you, Scott. Keep the SPY trades coming. 8 for 8. Wow, look at that. Took 40 trades with Alpha Zone Pro this week. Only had 4 losers. I never would have thought this was possible in a million years. Esther scaled her $2,000 account into $76,000 in just 3 months. Omar, there he is. This is when Omar was trading real small. Now I could stop here and let you run wild with it. And you could get up and running pretty quickly. All you got to do is copy and paste a simple link. 10-second install. Now, no strategy is going to win all the time. It's just not, okay? In order to keep the highest win rate, Matt and I went above and beyond and created specialized buy and sell arrows to help you pick the best entries. Now, these buy and sell signals couldn't be any more simpler. Green arrow means buy, and a red arrow means sell. It's very simple. Now, when momentum is red and price is trending down, you want to see an up arrow, assuming you're near one of those lines. Remember, the lines have to be there. They tip us off when price is likely to bottom out and momentum is about to reverse. This example, 78% in 49 minutes. Notice how the green arrow would have tipped us off before the momentum indicator flipped bullish. Watch it happen once more. Momentum indicator is red and has bottomed out. There's the up arrow. Sure enough, it would have nailed the exact bottom of the move 2 candlesticks before the bullish momentum shifted. 69% in 37 minutes. Not too bad. And as you would have expected, the down arrow works the same way as the up arrow, except the moves are usually faster to the downside. Fear is a stronger emotion than hope. When momentum is blue and price is trending up, we want to look for a down arrow. That's a very nice bar right here. Very nice ping bar right there, hammer bar. It means it's a good time to sell or go short because momentum is likely reversing soon. As you could see, upside momentum fizzled out a few minutes after Alpha Zone printed a red arrow. 71% in less than an hour. Now, Alpha Zone Pro doesn't just randomly print out buy and sell arrows. It uses a very strict set of criteria which must be met for an arrow to appear on your chart. First, we need to see specific type of candlesticks which precede a trend change. That's what I'm saying. You need a hammer. I like a big wick. That's a ping bar, I call it. That's a hyper hammer, okay, super hammer. In a downtrend, remember that MC Hammer? Every time I say hammer, I think about that MC Hammer, that rapper, you know? Matt, we should make it so every time the arrow comes, it plays that old MC Hammer song.
You just say, you can't touch this.
You can't touch this. There you go. That's it. That's it. That's the one. That's the one. All right. All right. So a bullish hammer tells you that sellers are done, and a bearish hammer tells you that the bulls are done. And if you think a simple hammer like that is just going to tell you all of that, it's not. That's why I keep telling you, you got to combine this with the other stuff. You can't just rely on a candle. Okay. With Alpha Zone Pro, a hammer reversal candle that's made a 20 bar high or a 20 bar low, it's game on. Alpha Zone Pro will automatically print a green or a red arrow. Really important, okay? Raleigh, do I have time to really quickly give them a bonus trade in the pit real quick? It'll just take a second.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, let me just do that right now.
Absolutely. And guys, once again, I'm sure you can appreciate this is a live presentation. And we do some multitasking here. And Roger and Matt are obviously watching the markets. And when they see something that makes sense, they're going to take a few minutes out and just post that to the members in their services. In this case, Roger is going to be recommending a trade for those of you in the trading pit. And Matt is watching the markets. He's probably looking at Alpha Zone Pro and he's looking at the market internals to see if there might be something where he wants to day trade the SPY. So once again, we are multitasking here.
Yeah, and I'm almost done. Wanted to send this out. Here, don't chase. I know they really love when I give them those time spreads. Oh, ticker symbol. I got the wrong ticker symbol. HP. They're going to be here. And
you gotta have the right ticker.
yeah, there we go. All right. Sorry about that, folks. It only takes a second. So remember, Alpha Zone Pro does all of these calculations automatically. So all you really need is to know is a green arrow means buy and a red arrow means sell. If you can handle that, you're golden. The system automatically pairs the ultimate zero lag momentum indicator, that's right, momentum indicator, with the market maker's likely, probable, and max move priced in for the day, and gives us high probability buy and sell arrows over and over and over. It's virtually an unstoppable system. Let's say you had 2,000 trading account, 1,200 profit in 61 minutes, 1,418 minutes, 1,337 minutes, take a little lunch break, 1,693 minutes, 916.44 minutes. When everything works out, that could be an extra 6,600 in your piggy bank from one day of trading. More than enough to put a smile on your face. Now, here's where Alpha Zone Pro really takes it up a notch. If you've been trading options for a while, you know there's a lot of time. Some of the options are expensive. And this really, when it comes to swing trading, right? In order to get maximum profits without paying for time decay, you're left buying very expensive options with a longer time till expiration. options that would cost 800, 1,000, sometimes even $2,000. Look up Tesla options that expire in 2 weeks. You'll see what I'm talking about. Or Microsoft. You'll get the point. But because these trades last, 20, 30, 40 minutes, we don't have to use those options. We could just use daily options or 1 day DT. I like 1 day DT. It gives you a little extra buffer. I really do like that, okay? And actually, you get a lot of leverage without paying for the time decay, all right? Now, this opportunity wasn't available until May 9th of 2023, where Chicago Board of Option Exchange approved daily options. And that's when we were able to start using those levels. It wasn't available till then. Now, they're called 0 DTE, days till expiration, DTE, days till expiration. I like 1 DTE. Matt over here likes 0 DTE. You can use any regular brokerage account with them. They're very affordable. They have a lot of liquidity. They don't have a lot of time decay, and a small move can pay 50% or more. For example, look what would have happened recently. AlphaZone Pro flashed a buy arrow. If you were trading normal SPY options, it would have cost you an arm and a leg to get in, around $2,103 to take the trade. Okay? But, with the 0 DTE options, it would have only costed you $171. So you don't have to make a lot of money because you're not looking for a huge move. You understand? 2,000 versus $171. Or let's say you're doing 1 DTE, it would be $250, but not $2,100,
Right.
Now look at the difference in the return over the next 53 minutes. 5%, same move, but because of the leverage you have, you make a lot more money. That's what I'm saying, that a little move can give you a 50% move or more on your option. All right. So you see the difference? Big difference. The answer is obvious. 0 DT have a lot more leverage. You can get in with less money, get far better fills, and you could supercharge a small move. It was the same thing just a few days later. AlphaZone Pro flashed another buy arrow as momentum started turning. Instead of 2,500, you would have paid 235. Okay, so let's say you do 1 DT. You want a little extra buffer. Okay, it'll cost you 300, but not 2,500. You see what I mean? Again, I'm just trying to be transparent with you. And the results over the next hour, 81% versus 8%. That's a big difference. That's a big difference. You hear that sound? That's AlphaZone Pro telling us that momentum is shifting right now. That's what it's telling us. The biggest advantage of these 0 DT options is that it doesn't matter when the stock market does tomorrow, next week, or next year. All we need is a micro breakout in either direction to target 50% or more in 60 minutes or less. And you could do it multiple times a day, over and over again. How many have you done today, Matt? One? Yeah. Just like a few hours later, AlphaZone printed a sell arrow on a massive hammer reversal candle. You could have gotten in with just a couple of $100, 6% versus 74%. That's 13 times better return at a fraction of the cost. These 0 DT options are cheap and they're explosive, and they open the door to an entirely new way to trade the SPY. Look at some of the top gains members have hit in their own account with these 0 DT options. Robert, 163. Renee, 230. Philip, 266. Rabia, 305. Evan, 335. The potential is really good on these options. In fact, 0 DT options now account for more than 60% of the trading volume on the SPY.
That's crazy, Roger.
Which also means, which should really tell you, is not that they're just popular. No one cares about that. How liquid they are.
How
liquidity.
liquid, yeah.
Yeah. That's where the money is. Liquidity. You could use market orders on them. And I never use market orders on anything, but you could use market orders on these things. Their spread is usually a penny or two at the most. So they're liquid like butter. You don't have to fiddle around with them. The last thing you want to fiddle around is fiddle around with options when you're supposed to get into the trade.
Right.
We're always out of the trade at the end of the day. We don't hold positions overnight. There's zero time spent worrying about open positions and more time enjoying your life. AlphaZone Pro is for traders who want a shot to profit every single day. Despite the next news headlines, despite what this clown says or does, and despite the overall direction of the market. Every single day is a new opportunity with AlphaZone Pro. So, the way I see it, you got a couple of choices, okay? You can face the harsh reality of the market that we really haven't gotten anywhere. And Raleigh and I talked about this yesterday. We really haven't gotten anywhere in several months now. You can keep worrying about market crashes, tariffs, all that stuff. You can ignore the fact that stocks are expensive. They're actually not as expensive now because earnings were actually twice as good as they were expecting. So they're actually pretty good. But there's a better choice, in my opinion, a much, much better choice. Yeah. Leverage the odds already calculated by Wall Street trillion-dollar investment firms. Use the all-new specialized day trading system that's designed to target multiple breakouts per day with no lag. Target these juicy options that have unlimited profit potential that don't cost a lot. There's a reason why a lot of folks are trading them. There's a reason for it. Now, I've shown you countless opportunities where you could have booked incredible gains in 60 minutes or less. You can't go back in time. All you could do is change your future. So what will you do? Will you take action? Stewart took action. He's threatening to call me Uncle Roger. How dare you?
How dare he?
Dare you? Robert is taking action. Look at that. 24.6, 62, Magic Money Man. William is taking action. Martin's taking action. I haven't seen Martin in a while. I hope he's doing okay. Thanks for the trade, Roger. $940 on it. Feel free to share. Tinia, thank you. David, really enjoyed the spy. Fast-paced and fun. You could say that. They'll get to you emotionally. They do. It's not easy emotionally. It's not easy emotionally, day trading. Roger, 105% on that trade. Richie, today I want to invite you, yes, you, with your very first trade using the Alpha Zone Pro. Everything you need is in the Getting Started guide. I put 12 hours. Everything we've covered today, everything we've covered. You notice everybody was like, yeah. You've said it 5,000 times. These are important things. They're all in there. It's all in the members area, like 10, 12 hours of video instruction. It literally takes less than 10 seconds to install. We have a customer support team standing by. They will help you. They speak perfect English. A lot of them are here in Florida, Texas, spread out throughout the country, but they're all here in the U.S. We had some Canadians, but we don't have, that was a couple of years back. We pretty much just have all Americans, and they all speak great English. They will help you. And also we have the Cam and Gustavo show from 10 to 1, where you can go with Cam, Raleigh's brother, and he will help you. They will help you. And they've heard it all. They've seen it and heard it all. If I need help and Matt's not here, who am I going to call? I'm going to call Cam, okay? Now, I'm going to train you on how to use it. You'll see me at the logging in and asking them for help. That would be kind of funny, wouldn't it?
But Roger, honestly, you've come in also as a guest, and you have done complete presentations there, explained your services, and it's wonderful when you do that.
Yeah. And I'm going to actually, I like going in there for like 20 minutes. So instead of going once every 3 months for an hour, I'd rather go like every couple of weeks for 20 minutes. And
yes.
So I'm going to ask them to put me in next week once again. So it'll be fun, because that's a lot. And people kind of get a little bit of me, and that's enough. They get more than enough. I'm too much for a lot of people. Live masterclass sessions, 12 hours of which I've only scratched the surface of what Alpha Zone Pro is capable of. Now, actually, Matt, I don't think Matt did this. I think Brian did this. This was really hard, but he was able to make these clouds. So that tells you your profit target, and that tells you your stop loss. Really, really good.
That's
really
great, Roger. So you just click on the arrow or hover over the arrow, and it just goes ahead and does that cloud for you?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's really great. And it shows you your profit target and stop loss based on volatility, all that stuff. So Matt and I also added dynamic profit and stops for those who really want fast trades. And if you want more relaxed day trades, we added this right here, the VWAP-based trading system that's included, this one right here. And the white arrows will tell you when to get in. And that's based on a completely different criteria. Like completely different criteria, okay? And that's for trending days. That's for days like today. And you can make really good money, but you gotta stay in there for a little while, you know? It's a 2-for-1 package. That means not only are you getting access to the most useful day trading platform, but we're also going to coach you on how to use it. It shouldn't come as a surprise that our publisher said the retail price at $39.95. And again, this is the last day we're going to be doing this. If you try to sign up through the main website, that's the price you will see, $39.95. And I think it's very, very fair considering how cool this is and how much time and effort I've put into it. Plus, anybody with access will have virtually unlimited number of trades to choose from. Now, here's the deal, because you're here right now. I'm not going to charge you $39.95. I'm going to take off $1,500. I'm going to make it $24.95, and I'm going to give you lifetime access because I don't want you to buy it every time I upgrade it. That's just silly. It doesn't make any sense. Yeah. So instead of seeing $39.95 for 1 year, you're going to see $24.95, but there's more. I'm going to do something nice because it's the holidays. Everybody loves the holidays. If you join today, I'm going to give you our official beta tester price and allow you to save another 500. So you can put an extra 500 into the turkey jar. That incredible deal is only for 50 members. We don't have 50 spots left. We started this yesterday and we sold quite a few. After the spots are gone, price is going to go back up. So if you're ready to secure access to the all-new AlphaZone Pro at a really good price and save $2,000 on your unlimited lifetime membership today, click the link in the chat. Do it now. Don't wait. Don't delay. Don't procrastinate. The price is not going to go down on this. That I can guarantee you. Click the link in the chat or go to rogerscott.com/zone so that you can be in the zone. Give us a call at 904-706-3539 if you have any questions that I failed to answer. Although I think I've answered quite a few questions here.
Absolutely.
All the details of your new AlphaZone Pro are on the next page, folks. If you join today, you'll automatically be upgraded for lifetime plus an instant $2,000 savings. And again, this is a pre-holiday special. This is not going to be a cyber whatever. This is it. This is as good as it's going to get.
This is, guys, a lot of people are wondering, so Roger, what's the Black Friday deal like? This is it. This is
your Black Friday special. This is it.
Lifetime for $19.95. It doesn't get any sweeter than that.
Yeah. Yeah, this is about as good as it's going to get. This is not, I'm not going to be doing this this is not, don't think you're going to get, my point is, if you want this, don't wait for after Turkey or cyber. No, this is it. This is as good as, this is as good as this is going to get. I do not have this scheduled for at least another 2 to 3 months after this, okay? Price is going to go up very soon. Click the link in the chat or give us a call, secure access, do it now. $19.95 plus unlimited lifetime access. Important announcement. I've been using AlphaZone Pro to crank out trades. Well, actually, Matt's been cranking them out. I've been too busy doing this stuff with you guys. Issue private alerts to an exclusive group of over 1,000 people called Trading Zone Live. We actually took a nice little winner today. Now, of course, there will be bigger winners, small winners, and yes, there will be losers. My goal is not to make you rich overnight. My goal is to make more than we lose over time. Understand? That's how it works. That's how probabilities work. If you're looking for a sure thing, then Vegas, baby. That's your answer, Vegas. Overall, you've had the opportunity to make good money. Rochelle, I'm up $2,000. Renee, and remember, the market's been up. It's been a bear. I mean, it's not a bear market. I mean, it's been tough. It hasn't been, we've been having hardly any follow through in the last 3 months. Okay. Renee made 116%. Debbie, a daughter's horse show and trade made 75%. Ava, 10, 21, 9, 30%. Very nice. Tim, 62% in 6.5 minutes. Adam, $660 in 20 minutes. If you want me to spoon feed you these alerts, they're pretty good. Here's what you need to do. When you secure AlphaZone Pro, go ahead and check out our program, Trading Zone Live. In Trading Zone Live, we go after the best setups together. The alerts look like this. You get the entry signal, you get the fill price and the timestamp, my analysis while the trade is active, the exit alert and timestamp, the fill price, 84% in 29 minutes. Again, it just depends on what the market is doing. It's much easier to trade it when the market's choppy. It's hard to trade it when it's trending. Remember, the algos are not the levels. It's hard to key off levels. And I'll even provide real-time analysis like I do every day from directly from Clyde and Bonnie and Matt and me, 8 hours a day, all day long when the markets are open. I tell people everything they need to know about the ADD, about what's going on, why it's going on, how it's going on, all that stuff. All of it is here. So after you secure your Alpha Zone membership, don't exit the next page. You'll have a chance to opt into Trading Zone Live at 70% off, which is really nice. Really, really nice. You'll get immediate access to the Trading Zone Live channel. That means you can unlock access starting today. So if you want in, make sure to sign up after completing your Alpha Zone Pro membership application. Definitely want to get you guys in there, and I want you guys to start trading, really see what trading is all about. It's the most action-packed. It's very action-packed. It's exclusive group, and I cannot wait to see you there. Don't miss this opportunity to secure your spot at over 70% off. 1995, this deal is going to end tonight. Remember the opportunity. It's the only trading platform that I know of that's designed to target these micro breakouts on the SPY and turn them into shots at 50% or more in 60 minutes or less, which is fantastic. Multiple times per day, despite the news headlines, despite what the Fed does, and despite the overall direction of the market. Every single day is a new opportunity to target lightning fast profits with Alpha Zone Pro. Let's say someone had $2,000 to invest, 30 minutes after the market opened, $980 profit in 17 minutes, 860 and 23, 1,020 and 36, 2,577, 1,554, 960 and 39, 1,140 and 33. Pretty good. Pretty good. Look at that. Altogether, that would have been over 9,000 in profit from one day of trading, which would have covered your membership nearly 5 times. Don't miss this opportunity. Price goes up after 50 spots sell out. And yeah, we don't have 50 spots, folks. $19.99 plus unlimited lifetime access. Bonus round, if you join the webinar today, not only will you immediately save $2,000 and get free lifetime membership upgrade, but I'm going to do something nice, and I'm going to give you that personal dashboard that I've been talking about here for a while. That's where it measures the VOLT, the TIG, the ADD, the VIX, the TLT, the SPY volume profile. It's all there. Like right now, I don't have it on my screen, and I feel like I'm flying blind. What I don't like right now is the fact that bonds are going down. Let's see. Yeah, internals are getting just choppy, but they're staying strong. They're not coming down. Yeah, it's very, very nice. VOLT helps confirm whether a market move has there's legs behind it. Okay. ADD keeps you from getting blindsided by weak market participation, helping you avoid false breakouts. That's the other thing. If you have a stock breaking out and you see the ADDs at 500, you're not going to get a lot of tailwind from the market. You know what I'm saying? So again, it's a really good tool. Really good tool. TIG gives you the real-time insight into buying and selling pressure. VIX acts as a real-time fear gauge. SPY volume profile, that tells us what the key levels for the last 5 days were, where the buyers and sellers are, where market dynamics are changing to. TLT gives us a real-time update on the bond market and what we should expect. I could do a class on internals and sell this thing for $9.95 easily. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do any such thing. What I'm going to do is give it to you for free because you deserve it. And honestly, without it, like I swear to you, I didn't have it on for about 10, 15 minutes. I felt like I was flying blind. I really do rely on this thing a lot, okay? A lot. Like notice right here, the VOLT stopped going up, started kind of going a little choppy. The market started going sideways. Same thing with ADD. If it starts up again, we'll be in good shape. All right. So traders like Jeff love it. All right. Your market internal dashboard is my best market monitoring tool. I love the quad charts. Now it's not quad. It's now six charts. If you join today, you're not going to pay $9.95. You're going to get it for free. I'm going to give it to you. I'm going to include it in the membership for free. Plus, I'm giving you lifetime access. So if I update anything, and I've already updated this thing twice, and I'm going to consistently be making updates to it. All right. As soon as I do, you will be the first to know about it. Only the new members of AlphaZone Pro will get access to my market internal dashboard. Consider it my way of saying thank you to you. And honestly, I think you need it. I think you need it. I think you'd be flying blind without it, honestly. It takes about 10 seconds to install. We have it for TradingView and for Thinkorswim. I'll show you how to use it. I have a master class that's about, I don't know, I think it's a 9 to 11 hours or something. I mean, it's up there. It's up there. Hours and hours of class and me answering questions. So if you want to claim the special bonus, you need to sign up now, click the link in the chat, or give us a call. All right? It's a really good deal. I highly recommend you guys take advantage of it and really take advantage of it as soon as possible. Because again, we don't have 50 spots left anymore, folks. And today's going to be the day. My goal with AlphaZone Pro and Trading Zone Live is to help you become a really skilled trader. I want you to have all the tools and insight that you need to help you go after your financial goals. And many of the new members are already seeing the results. What do people say? I've made enough money in the first 2 days to pay for AlphaZone Pro. Very nice. So far, AlphaZone Pro gives me chills on its accuracy. I paid it off in 3 days. Wow. I like that. I like that. I trusted you once again, jumped in, a $709 profit in 14 minutes. Now signed up and made $420 in 8 minutes. Kathy. Liberty, I've made, by the way, Raleigh, I've had the chat closed, but have we been getting any testimonials about any of this stuff? Let me know. Let me know. Raleigh, oh, he's not here. All right, 56%, 25%, 17%, 5%. And let me just make sure that, yeah, it's all there. And folks, as I said before, this is totally different from Pro Trader Dashboard. Pro Trader Dashboard and the pit is stock and stock options. This is indexes, index and index options. Okay, it's apples and oranges. Very, very different apples and oranges. Okay, you should warn everyone who joins AlphaZone Pro is really addicting. I like that. Really addicting. Okay. There's Martin, 11 for 12. He's an attorney from New York. You know, he used to come to the morning show all the time. I haven't seen him in a while. I'm gonna check up on him, see how he's doing. Vivek, 100% hit rate so far with AlphaZone Pro, 7 for 7 with sizable profits. We got Kevin, 100% profit on the SPY 0 DTE, 7 in at 75 and out at $1.50. And folks, we'll answer all questions in just a few minutes. Made $3,500 Tuesday, 2000. Stan, the man, 7,400 with Trading Zone Live. Very, very nice. Who doesn't like that? Roddy, D0 DT SPY trades are an ATM. We should have called this ATM the ATM machine. AlphaZone Pro is a rush. Thanks for bringing it to us, Jesse. Thanks for the SPY 0 DTE today. Took three of them, 10 contracts each, took profit $1,300. I like that. I like that very, very much. Shannon, I suggest you paper trade for two. I'll talk about that, but absolutely, SJ Shannon. I'll talk about that. Thank you for reminding me. I made $175 in an hour. Adam, John, $1,650. Bob, you're crazy if you do not buy AlphaZone Pro. It'll pay for the membership in no time. It feels effortless. Kathy, I'm a beginner trader, 6 months. I find it super easy. I'm enjoying AlphaZone Pro so much. I'm winning over and over again. It should be $19.95 for lifetime. That's what this offer is, $19.95.
Yeah, and Roger, just really quickly on that point, 1995, you're right, that's lifetime. And then another page will come up and say, if you would like to have Trading Zone Live, 1 year for Trading Zone Live is $14.95. That's the optional service where Roger and Matt are going to spoon feed the trades to you. So that's an option.
Yes. 1 second. I just need to make a little note here for myself. Okay. All right. I figured since you guys are here, I'll tell you too. I'm looking at Spotify for a potential short. I haven't done it yet, but I'm looking at Spotify for a potential short. Okay, just FYI. Since you guys are here, I'll give you a little extra, meat on the bones. You're on a tear, 68% in 21 minutes. It's all thanks to a brand new Alpha Zone Pro. Today, I'm handing the keys over to you. 1995. Really quick before I open the chat, I want to answer a few questions. And that was a good question about paper trading. Is it only for Thinkorswim? No, it's for TradingView too. If you don't live in America, or if you do live in America but you don't like Thinkorswim, I'm not a huge fan, but I'm forced to use it because it has everything I need. TradingView is fine, or Thinkorswim, whichever you prefer. Whichever you prefer. Okay, whichever you prefer. If I'm a beginner, is Alpha Zone Pro a good fit for me? Absolutely. Absolutely. Because you see, it'll save you so much time, and it'll teach you market structure, and it'll teach you market internals. It will put you so far ahead of all the nonsense that's out there. So yes, yes, yes. Can you trade zero DT options in a regular? Yes, you could trade them in every account. The only ones that don't do zero DT is Fidelity, I think, after 10 a.m. And I prefer one DT anyway. You could do them with pretty much any broker, but you can also do this with e-minis, and I'll talk about that in a minute too. Are you only buying calls and puts? Yes. There's no strangles. There's no straddles. There's none of that stuff. None of that stuff is here. Okay. None of that stuff. No strangles, straddles. None of it. You're just going it long or you're going short. What if you spy on PTD? I'll talk about all of this now. How much is the average trade? It's between 100 and 300 bucks. It's not expensive. It's not expensive at all. Okay, not expensive at all. And again, you could do e-minis. You could do e-minis. Do I need $25,000? No. First of all, you can use a cash account. If you use a cash account, these things settle instantly now. So you just need one cash account. You don't even need 3 cash accounts anymore. When you open up an account, just tell your broker you want a cash account, not a margin account. Okay. Back in the day, they would just give everybody a margin account. Now it's weird. But anyways, you want a cash account, and then you don't have to worry about the overnight margin requirement. Okay. That's rule number 1. Okay. Number two, you could trade e-minis. You could trade micro e-minis with a stockbroker or a futures broker. If you trade with a stockbroker, your margin will be much higher. They'll charge you overnight margin, and your commission will be higher. If you do it with a futures broker, then your commission will be much lower, and your margin will be almost nothing. It's like 40, 50 bucks. If you want to know, the 2 biggest ones are Ninja and Amp Futures. I'm not giving them to you because I have any relationship. I don't use them. I'm simply giving them to you because they're the biggest ones. Okay, that's all. That's the only reason. That's my what it's based on. So take a look at it if you want to. But again, you could now trade this with options, with add the money, just buying add the money options, which is what we do, or e-minis. So very, 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 very good. What if I have a question about this, setting it up? We're here to help you. Customer Service Live will help you. They will help you every step of the way. Every step of the way. If you have any questions, we have a US-based customer support team, and they will help you answer any questions. If for some reason you can't get it to work within 7 days, I will give you your money back. You should be able to get it working within 5 minutes. And I mean that. You should be able to get it working within 5 minutes. How many trades can you expect each day on Trading Zone Live? It depends. Is it a holiday? Do we have a choppy day? Do we have a trending day? Do you want me to give you trades for the sake of giving you trades? No. Sometimes 5, sometimes none. It depends. I think today we took 1. Yesterday we took 1. We've been very selective, which I'm very happy about. It just depends. Sometimes Matt will be on fire. Sometimes he'll be cold as a refrigerator. It just depends. It just depends. But here's what I could tell you. Actually, you know what? I'm not going to tell you. I'm going to show you. Here's what I'm going to show you. This is the performance. This does not include today, I don't think, or yesterday. This is just last few days. But this is the performance starting with 5K. This is how we've been doing. It's pretty good. Almost got up to like almost 28K. And this is every trade. And if you want us to send you this, we'll send you this. Every trade, every buy and sell is accounted for. It's all in there. All right. All right. How will you receive alerts? They will all be posted in the Telegram channel. Everything good happens in Telegram. Telegram, Telegram, and more Telegrams. Okay? Telegram, Telegram, and Telegrams. Do I need to own AlphaZone Pro to access the Telegram channel? Well, you don't. You don't anymore. But before, when we first launched it beforehand, you did. But now you can buy it separately. But it'd be nice for you to have both so you can kind of see how you're doing it versus how we're doing it. And remember, we have a lot of experience and we have a lot more trades. So we don't just do the AlphaZone type of trades. We do all sorts of trades. All right. Now, somebody asked me this, AlphaZone Pro versus Pro Trader Dashboard. They are as different as a steak and a hot dog, okay? They're as different as an apple as an orange. They're as different as a bike and a boat. They have no similarities. They don't share any common denominators. So now you understand they're like a man and a woman. They're very different. And I'm not talking about that Jenner, what's his name, Bruce Jenner. Talking about regular men and women, okay? None of that monkey business. In other words, the Pro Trader dashboard simply compares stocks to the index to tell us what stocks are outperforming or underperforming in real time. The AlphaZone Pro measures the index. It doesn't compare anything. It measures the index. It basically analyzes the index. So one compares the SPY to the index, to the stocks, and one just analyzes the index. Very, very different. They actually have zero moving interchange. They have zero overlap, like not 1% overlap. Okay. Just so you know. You know why? Because trading indexes and trading stocks is completely different. And if anybody tells you it's not, well, it's technical analysis, Roger. It's the same thing. No, it's not. No, it's not. No. And don't let any fool tell you that. It's not. It's not the same. Okay. Technical analysis is not, it's not the same. Now, you get the AlphaZone Pro, you get the market internal dashboard, you get both the momentum and the VWAP trading system, you get the market internals, how it's used, live masterclass, US-based customer support, instant webinar discount for today only, and a free upgrade to lifetime. Now, we also have customer service live from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. every single day. Now, let's take some questions. Now, the first question is, you guys asked me about paper trading. No one's going to listen to me, but here's my advice. Nobody's going to listen to me, but trading indexes and playing video games is not all that different. It really is not. Have you ever tried playing a video game the first 5, 10, 15 times? You're going to get obliterated. Right? But after you do it a few hours, remember when you were a kid playing Pac-Man? That's like my most recent experience of playing video games, playing Centipede and Pac-Man. So again, it play the video game with paper money. Make all of your mistakes with paper money, and then shift to it, folks. Don't buy a F-15 plane and start thinking you can fly it. You'll crash. Don't pull a Kennedy on this. You know what I'm saying? Don't think you know how to fly a plane because you took a few lessons. Don't do that. You'll crash. And then you'll come complaining to me and tell me how it doesn't work. Learn to trade before you trade. Don't be in a rush to make money. Be in a rush to learn how to control yourself, how to get a process going. That's what makes people profitable over time. Their process, their consistency, not second guessing themselves. Get all that out of the way.
Absolutely, Roger.
Get all that out of your way. Once you get all of that out of your way, then you'll be ready to make reasonable decisions and trade. Okay? That's what you need to do. Pac-Man, stock market, Centipede, all that stuff. All right? All right, let me answer any other questions you guys may have.
You got it. So, Roger, another question that came up a little bit earlier was that, we talked about the fact that there are several indexes that we can trade zero and one dated option. And is there a time, for example, when you might consider not trading the SPY? For example, looking at, Q or IWM or something along those lines? Or is your focus really here on the SPY?
No, no. It depends on what the index is doing. So let me give you an example. Let's say one of the indexes really starts deviating, okay? Um, and it's moving really cleanly. We will switch to that index. But most of the time, they're all just doing the same thing.
Okay.
So if there's a reason to move to a different index, we will. But usually it's the SPY that works just fine.
Just fine.
There are times, there are times you'll have a period where like, man, the SPY just looks horrible. Let's just switch to the QQQ. But usually they all move together.
They all move together. And I just
And
posted, go ahead.
and another thing is if there's a VWAP close to one and one is far away, if there's a level, let's say I'm trading above the 50-day moving average, and let's say the SPY is coming right up to it, and the QQQ already broke above it, I would rather take a QQQ to the long side. So again, but it has nothing to do with liquidity. It has nothing to do with liquidity. It has to do with levels and the quality of the trading action on the asset.
Mhm. Another question that came up here, Roger, is that once again, I know the focus was on the value of traded zero dated options, but you also said you like one dated options. From your
Yes.
perspective, is there a time when zero dated makes sense, or is there a time when one should consider one dated versus zero dated?
Yes, if you trade, if you don't follow Trading Zone Live and you're just trading for yourself and you find because you're journaling, right? Because Uncle Roger tells you you should journal all your trades and you find that you're not staying in trades for more than 15, 20 minutes, zero DT is fine till about 2 o'clock in the afternoon. Then it just decay goes like this.
Hmm.
But my suggestion is this: find out how long you stay in your average trade. If it's more than half an hour, one DT. If it's less than 20 minutes or 20 minutes or less, then do zero DT till about 1 o'clock in the afternoon.
Right. And I think in the examples that you brought up earlier, you're saying, look, you're going to pay a little bit more, but it's a fraction of the cost, for example, of buying a weekly SPY or a monthly SPY. So, for
Yes,
example, zero DT might be $175 and one DT might be 210. It's a
exactly.
small difference there for that.
Yes. But it's
Uh,
but you get a lot more staying power.
Now, for those, want to make sure that everybody does understand here that the AlphaZone Pro is a trading platform. It's not an alert service. So, because people were wondering, well, on the AlphaZone Pro, how many signals might I expect during the course of a week, for example?
Oh, Alpha Zone Pro a lot. But again, are they moving in the direction of the Vold? Are they
Right,
moving? Are they? Do you see what I'm saying? It depends. Sometimes I'm like, Matt, what are you doing, man? You're like over trading. He's like, nope, I'm getting the signals. And sometimes I'm like, Matt, what are you doing, man? What have you been doing all day? He's like, there's no trades.
right.
We're not, we don't determine how often we're going to trade. The market does. You understand? But yeah, there's always some opportunities.
Right.
There's always some opportunities to trade.
Another question that came up, Roger, because once again, I think some people are very enamored of what they saw, is they're wondering, can I use this on anything else other than the SPY? Can I use the AlphaZone Pro to trade a stock, for example?
You could on Thursday, you could trade the mega caps, the FANG stocks on Thursdays and Fridays if you really want to. But honestly, I don't, I mean, just use the QQQ. Their correlation after the market opens is going to be 95%.
Yeah, and everything that you've done, all the testing, all the development, et cetera, has been around trading an index, guys.
Yes. Now
You
we
know,
have some that have done it and they've said we've been killing it, like Tesla using Tesla, Microsoft. You could do it. You could do it. But honestly, I don't see the reason why. If you're so gung ho, just use QQQ. It's cheaper. The options are cheaper, and it's going to mimic the move of those stocks.
yeah, yeah, particularly the
So
Mag 7.
I
Yeah.
just I don't see the necessity of it, you know?
So the other question that came up, Roger, is as you know, there's a number of SPY derivatives like the SPX or the XSP. Can it work with those as well?
Anything that follows the SPY works fine. That's
Works
why the
fine.
E-minis
Yeah.
work fine as long as it mimics the SPY. And there's a lot of assets that mimic the SPY. You're good to go.
Good to
No
go
problem
for it.
there. Yeah.
And
No
then the
problem
last
there.
question that was posted here, and I just want to address it because this came from Rainbow. He was going like, "Well, Roger, sitting through all this, he said, I'm just wondering which one might be more profitable for me because I can really only choose one product." It's kind of
It
a loaded question, but I
it
want you
it
to answer it for Rainbow because there's a number of ways to
it,
attack this.
it all depends on how much time and how much dedication you have and how good you are mentally. Day trading is much harder than swing trading mentally because everything happens much faster and your emotions have to work in fast forward speed. A lot of people can't do that. So it's not, my suggestion is this: be realistic with yourself. How much time do you have? Are you available during the day? Uh, are you going to be around to take all the trades? Are you going to um, uh, are you going to be watching the market in the mornings? Are you around? It just depends. It just
Right.
depends. Are you okay with day trading or do you want to swing trade? I mean, it just depends. Do you feel more comfortable with indexes or do you feel more comfortable with stocks? Some people don't feel comfortable with indexes. Some people feel great with indexes. It really depends on you. It's impossible to answer that question. And
Yeah,
it's
he
not what and it's not what program is your most profitable program. That's a very bad question. If I have a program that's highly profitable, but you cannot mentally get in sync with it, it's not going to be profitable for you because you're going to be second guessing every trade I do. I know you will. Trust me, I know you better than you know yourselves. Because
yeah,
because
he just responded and basically said he's much more interested in a swing trading program.
then my suggestion would be to look more like the A-Line, Stealth Surge, those type of programs. Those are much more effective for swing trading.
Yeah, and what you could do on this one, Rainbow, is call 904-706-3539. That's our sales department. And tell them that you were in this webinar and you'd really like to know more about which programs Roger has for swing trading. And they will send you information, answer your questions. But that's a fair question. But that's it, Roger. I love the delineation. You have to decide for yourself. Are you going to be an active day trader, or are you going to be or for reasons like you've got a day
Yeah,
job or you don't have time availability, you want to do something more? Uh,
exactly. So you see, it's not always how much money a program will make is not going to do anything for you. It's how well you'll be able to follow it. How well the best program for you is the program that you're most comfortable with, the one that makes you feel warm and fuzzy, the one you agree with, because then you'll follow the trades, at least initially.
yep.
And again, I'm just being honest with you. I'm telling you
Yeah.
how it is. See, I've heard all of your questions before, and I know why you're asking the. I know now. I can't just. I can see. I don't. I can go beyond answering your question. I can figure out why you're asking me the question, and that's really where the heart of the question is. See, can I do just one trade, or do I have to take all the trades? You could do as many trades as you want, James. You could do as many trades. It's a software. It installs on your computer. You could take all the. You could be as critical as you want.
Yeah, or for example, if you're just starting out and you want to be a little bit more cautious, take one. You're placing the trades, guys. These are tools that are going to offer up the opportunity. They're going to point to what's happening, and there's an inherent is that is a recommendation to place the trade. But you have to place the trade. You have to be comfortable with what you see, and you need to place the trade. Um, so Roger, you had mentioned this is kind of straying off the course, but you did basically talk a little bit about Spotify was looking
Hmm.
like a good short. A lot of people are wondering how's Spotify looking now?
Looks beautiful. Looks like a beautiful short. Look, that's the daily bouncing off the 8-day EMA,
Yep,
coming right down, not defending this price action at all while the market's making new highs. It looks beautiful. It looks great. Why? I mean, it's not really doing anything. I mean, it's just coming down. It's not really doing much. Uh,
right.
yeah, it's looking great.
And
It's looking
Vince
great.
says, "What do you mean by what's the lowest?" Vince, I don't understand your question.
Yeah, I don't
Uh,
understand what you're
are
calling.
you
What's the
looking for
lowest?
what the exit would be? I don't know.
This wasn't the trade, guys. I'm just giving you. This is just something that I added to my watch list. I added it to my watch list, and I took time away from here. So I figured since I took time away from here, I might as well give it to you.
Mhm.
Yeah, if you want to take this trade, wait for it to hit the VWAP and bounce off the VWAP and then come back down, or wait for the market to make another swing high. And if this doesn't move higher, take it off right here.
Mhm.
Take it short right here. All
Yeah,
right,
that's a
and
little bit.
that's a pit. That's a pit. That's what we do in the pit. That's what I do in the
Yeah,
pit all the time. That's
yeah.
not. Yeah, that's me in the pit.
Yeah. And you know what it reminds me of the drawing that you did a little bit earlier between what a rookie would do and what a pro would do.
Yeah,
You just
yeah,
wait for that bounce back to come to take it in that direction. So,
yeah.
all right, folks. Well, we have Roger just for a few more seconds here because he's got a bunch he's got to do this afternoon. I'm going to stay a little bit longer and continue to answer your questions and do a summary here. But Roger, this is his program. This is his baby. So if
It
you've got
is.
any
It is.
questions that you want to address to Roger, now is the time to do it.
And if there's something that I did not respond or answer to, it's just because I'm not looking at the chat. Kurt says I just made well right now I just put the chat on. I just made $105 on spot paper trading in a few. That's good. That's good. There's better opportunity. I think you can get better entry on it than this. But again, I added it to my watch list. Definitely a watch list trade. All right, folks, listen to me. You could use this in your IRA account. My suggestion is don't try to become a gazillionaire overnight. Learn your craft. I've never seen anybody make money in the markets who's not in love with the market. Okay. I have never in my life seen anybody make money from the market who's not obsessed with the market. Obsessed with the market. If you want to get into the market to make easy money, it'll be the hardest easy money you will ever make in your life. I went to law school. Okay. Trading was 10 times harder than going to law school. Yes. Yes. I have no reason to lie to you. And I amatured half of my classes in law school. I got the American Jurisprudence Award, half of my classes. And it's 10 times harder than law school because you have to control yourself. And it's hard to control yourself when there's nobody watching you. All right,
Yeah.
folks. And also, don't go for something. Don't look at a trading program like you're reading Consumer Reports. It doesn't really work that way. A trading program has to fit you, or you will have to fit it. You understand? Something will have to give, and a lot of times that doesn't work for people. So make sure whichever you're looking at fits you and your character, your personality, whatnot. Okay. Thank you all. Raleigh, thank you for being here. I appreciate you more than you know. Thank you so much. Have a great day, and I will see everybody tomorrow. And
Yeah,
if I
and
did,
I just need to give you a heads up, Roger, with my family reunion and everybody coming in, I will not be with you Wednesday or Friday.
no problem.
Dirk is going to sit in. Dirk's fantastic.
Okay.
He's a great surrogate there. So, but anyway, Roger, I want to wish you happy Thanksgiving, and
Thank you,
I
sir.
look forward to seeing you. I'll be back in the saddle next Monday.
Great. I will see you later, my friend. Have a great week and enjoy time with your family and friends. And I want to see those pictures. Okay.
I know.
Bye, everybody. Have a great day, everybody.
All
Bye.
right, my man. Okay, I'm going to grab the screen here, guys, and spend a little bit more time with you. Before I go for a little bit any further, I want to share some critical information with you for Roger. His email address is roger@rogerscott.com. I put this in the chat panel. So if you've got any questions about the program or how you should trade it, things of that nature, those are beautiful questions for Roger, and he will respond to them. Don't send Roger an email asking him if you can get a special price or a discount because he doesn't control those things. If you have a question about pricing, then call 904-706-3539. But any other question about the program or an idea or just looking for a clarification, something along those lines, you can always send Roger an email. Also, Roger's public Telegram link is there. And if you're not on his public Telegram link, you need to get there because Roger shares an awful lot of information about what's going on in the market in his public Telegram. Once again, he's a big believer in understanding what's going on in the macro world around you as you look to make decisions, as to what to trade. But it starts from the big picture, down to an individual stock that you decide on. And he gives an awful lot of information throughout the day on his public Telegram channel. And for those of you that would like to join us in the morning for Roger's pre-market briefing or to come for the VIP trade room, there's his YouTube channel. It's a free channel. And you can go there and just join us in the morning. You can see replays of the morning sessions there and the VIP sessions there. The other thing I want to share with you is that today's presentation is live and it is being recorded. And if any of you would like to have a link to a copy of today's presentation, all you have to do is three things. Give me your name and your email address and say, send me the replay. Now, I am making the chat panel private now. I'm the only one that sees what's being posted in the chat. So if you give me your email address, it's not going to be there for everybody in the room to see. Now, the other thing that I've done, folks, is I've created a summary on today's presentation. And, I've stripped out all the marketing stuff, all the testimonials. I just want to go over the basics of the program. This is a refresher. So if you came late to the presentation, or if you would just like one more run through as to what this is all about, that's the purpose of this summary. And I'll also share with you what our special pricing is. If you've got questions, just put them in the chat panel and I'll address them when I've completed my summary. So the focus today was on the AlphaZone Pro, okay? And it's the only trading platform that we know of that's designed to target micro breakouts on the SPY and turn them into a shot at 50% or more winning trades in 60 minutes or less multiple times per day. So, spoiler alert, this is an active day trading program for trading the SPY, okay? And so that's what this is all about. And after 6 months or more, it's more like 8 months now, of public beta testing and thousands of lines of code and testing, we created what might be the most innovative day trading system for the SPY that exists. You see, it's a multi-dimensional trading platform that tells you when the SPY is likely to break out before it breaks out, or when it's likely to break down before it breaks down. Okay. And like I said, it does that before it happens without using any of the traditional technical indicators at all: RSI, moving averages, Bollinger Bands, trend lines, MACD, Fibs, Elliott Wave. I don't know about you folks, but from my perspective, these are bedrock things for me, indicators for me. I mean, I don't know how to live without them, but yet we're looking at something here that totally ignores them. Why? Because these are lagging indicators and we need real-time indicators. And here's how it works. Before you even start trading, okay, the AlphaZone Pros automatically calculates the SPY's likely move for the day. So here we see, we'll call this a ceiling and a floor. It's going to then print the probable move, okay, ceiling and floor, and the max potential move, ceiling and floor. This means that price will likely stay boxed into this zone 95% of the time. And it's not because we just drew these lines here, guys. The real key to this is because these zones are based on the implied volatility that the market makers have priced into their daily options. And the reason that's important and the reason why 95% of the time it stays in this zone is that's the only time the market makers make money. When the market closes outside of these areas, they lose money. So they pick these areas, they price their options accordingly, and they defend these levels. Now, when we're looking for a breakout, okay, when the price approaches the max move to the downside. So when prices are moving in this direction, I'm not looking for a continuation, I'm looking for a bounce. And what that gives me is a breakout to the upside. Prices coming down here, bounce off of this significant support area, and boom, move in this area. And when we're looking for breakdowns, I'm waiting for the pricing to reach the max move to the upside. And I'm not expecting that this is going to move higher this way. I'm expecting it to come here. I'm expecting these areas of resistance to be defended, and I'm expecting to see a breakdown lower. Now, on February 10th, for example, the SPY approached the max move to the upside. We see it here. Okay. And then it automatically reversed back into the zone, just as we expected that it would. And in that particular case, that was a 67% gain in 45 minutes. And I'm not talking about trading the underlying stock here. Okay. I'm talking about an option, buy a put here and be up 67% in 45 minutes. And a little bit later on that same day, the SPY came down near the max move to the downside. We see it here, okay? And then it jiggled around sideways for a bit and then moved up higher as we thought it would, which was a 52% gain in 52 minutes. And in this case, we would have simply bought a call. Now, the AlphaZone Pro also has a proprietary momentum indicator that you won't find anywhere else on the planet. And this is, folks, this is this real-time indicator that we're looking for. When the momentum indicator turns from red to yellow, like we see here, red to yellow, red to yellow, red to yellow. When you see that, it means that the SPY has bottomed out and is beginning to break out to the upside. And when the momentum indicator is red and has bottomed out, you're going to see a green arrow. So once again, you're going to see a green arrow here when it is bottomed out. And sure enough, it would have nailed the exact bottom of the move 2 candlesticks before the bullish momentum started reading. So the green arrow actually gives you a pretty good heads up. And when you wait for that shift from red to yellow, you're already prepared to rock and roll and things move in your direction. And that was 69% in 37 minutes buying a call. Now, when the proprietary momentum indicator is blue and turns yellow, okay, so blue to yellow, blue to yellow, blue to yellow as we see it here. And by the way, this is just another version of the indicator here as an oscillator. And you can see blue to yellow, we're moving lower, we're moving lower, we're moving lower. And once again, you can choose whichever one you want to use, but they both work in lockstep. But in either case here, it's an indication that things are getting ready to move. And as far as that's concerned, it means the SPY is about to break down. And when the momentum indicator is blue and is topped out, and you see a red down arrow, once again, this is giving you a heads up. And you can see in this example, the upside momentum fizzled out a few days after the AlphaZone Pro printed the red arrow, and boom, we had this move lower. That's 71% in less than an hour, and that would have been simply buying a put. So what do you get when you join the program? Everything that you need to get started today can be found in your AlphaZone Pro Getting Started guide. You're going to find a step-by-step video that's going to get you up to speed in no time. And remember, there's no install that's necessary. All you have to do is copy and paste a link, okay, from your members area into your Thinkorswim charting platform or your TradingView charting platform. And it only takes about 10 seconds and a couple of clicks of the mouse. Here you can see it here. Boom, install, and let's expand it. There you go. You're up and running. And if you need any assistance, we do have a US-based customer support team that's standing by ready to answer any questions that you have. Now, the other thing that's really important here is that Roger is going to train you to use this the way he does. Why? This is his baby. I mean, he created this to give himself an edge in the market. Okay. And once he saw the consistency associated with this, he decided to bring it to the general public. But what's important to him is that if you want to know how he uses it to find trades, he's going to teach you how to do that. He's going to show you that. And he's created an entire masterclass series in the members area that's going to walk you through everything that you need to know in detail, because he's very, very transparent about how he uses this tool, how it was designed, and how effective it can be. Now, from our publisher's perspective, they've said, look, the list price of this thing is going to be $39.95 per year. So if you go to our website, you're going to see $39.95 per year. And that's a great price when you consider the power of this platform. But for this week and for this webinar, we have a special for you. We're knocking $2,000 right off that list price, which means the price is $19.95 and you can get that per year. But wait a minute. Wait a minute. Roger said per year. Hold off. Let's give it to people lifetime. If they're here this week, this is our Black Friday special, folks. There's nothing better than this. There will be no lower price than this. What we're talking about is $19.95, not per year, but for lifetime, forever. You'll never see another charge on your charge card for this. All of our upgrades and enhancements that we do to this, and we've already had several, you're going to get those free of charge. And it's a legacy license, which means that if at some point in time you would like to gift this to your son or daughter or a friend or acquaintance, you can do it. You call us, we'll transfer your account to that person, do it all free of charge, and then that person will have ongoing access to the AlphaZone Pro. What a great gift that would be. And we do have a special bonus as well. Roger's saying for the people that jump on board of this week, once again, this is our Black Friday special. We're also going to give you the market internals dashboard, okay? Which means you're going to get the VOLD, which helps confirm whether a market move has real strength behind it or not. Because what we're talking about here is we're tracking the amount of cash that's coming into the markets, okay? The ADD, advanced decline line, keeps you from getting blindsided by weak market participation. Roger went into great detail to show you why the ADD is so important to him. Then you have the tick, which gives you real-time insight into buying and selling pressure in the market. That's sitting here. Then you've got the VIX, the fear gauge that Roger always looks at. There it is for you right there. Then we have the SPY volume profile, the point of control, where the heaviest buying and selling has occurred. You'll know what your value areas are. You'll find out whether things maybe are oversold or overbought. And finally, the TLT gives you a real-time read on what the bond market is doing. This is the market internal dashboard that Roger and Matt use all day long to help make decisions about trades that they're looking at entering. And once again, normally it's a $995 deal, but you're going to get it for free for lifetime for those of you that join this program. And just like AlphaZone Pro, it takes 10 seconds to install it and away you go. So 1995 gives you unlimited lifetime access to the AlphaZone Pro, and we include the market internals as well. And when you go to the landing page, here's what you'll see. AlphaZone Pro VIP 1995, unlimited access. VIP means lifetime, okay? Now, and when you sit and go to the members area, this is a screenshot of what the members area looks like. You've got your getting started guide is sitting up here. Here's all your master classes are here. Here's where you can click to install your Thinkorswim or click for your trading view for help. Everything else that you need is here. The market dashboard installation, etc. It's all in your members area. Now, Roger wanted to make an important announcement because he knows so many people have written him and said, Roger, it's great that you're sharing this platform with me. And I get that you're teaching me how to fish for myself. I get that. But you know what? Is there a way where you could also give me the fish at the same time while I'm learning this tool? And the answer is yes. He's created a special program called Trading Zone Live. Now, this is an alert service. And this is where Roger basically will give you the fish. So AlphaZone Pro is the platform. It's the fishing rod. It's everything that Roger uses that he teaches you how you can fish for yourself. Some people have said, but it would be great if I could also see the trades that you like. You're looking at the same tool. You've got the AlphaZone Pro. You've got the market internals. What does he have that you don't have? About 30 years of experience in the markets. But if that's something that's appealing to you, this is an option, the Trading Zone Live. And in the Trading Zone Live, what Roger and Matt do is they look after the best SPY setups that they see, and it's been averaging about 3 to 5 high quality setups each day. And it really depends on what the market is doing. Like yesterday and today, I think there have only been a couple of trades. Let me check and see if there's been any other trades here. At SPY is about to make a new high. No, just a couple of trades. So, you have to take what the market's going to give you. But if I go back over 400 plus trades, going back a couple of years, we've averaged 3 to 5 trades per day. And the alerts are sent to you in a private Telegram channel that looks like this. You're going to see, Roger's going to say, hey, go long SPY, okay? And you're sitting there going like, and remember, we're trading 0 dated or 1 dated options. And when he says go long SPY, you're placing a market order. You're getting in at the money right there. Boom. You want to get quickly into the market. And then he's going to say, oh, by the way, here was my fill. All right, so 61080. And then he's going to give you a little bit of a write up. Hey, the volt is still going straight up. So let's hold on to this thing and let's milk it. Okay, because we always want to trade in the direction of the volt. And then he'll come back and he says, hey, time to take profit. That's at 138. So 38 minutes from when he got his entry, he got out at 611.35. So got in at 610.80, out at 611.35. So this is an example of what it looks like in your Telegram. He also is going to provide real-time market analysis to you, okay? Real-time analysis. So you're going to be able to go ahead and he's going to do screenshots and he's going to put them in Telegram. He's going to give you write-ups. He's going to give you a heads up. He's going to talk to you about what the market internals are doing so that you understand absolutely what's going on in the SPY as you are, in a trade or thinking about a trade or getting ready to place a trade. It's like having a squawk box, Roger's squawk box. The Telegram he's going to be feeding you information as well as entry and exit alerts. And what he's basically said for those of you that join the Alpha Zone Pro, he's basically saying, I'm going to knock 70% off of my Trading Zone Live alert service, which means the 1 year cost would be $14.95, or you can get lifetime for $24.90. Now, once again, folks, just to be clear, Trading Zone Live is a totally separate program. You've got Alpha Zone Pro, which is the platform. Trading Zone Live is the alerts that Roger basically sees on a daily basis using the Alpha Zone Pro and the Market Internals dashboard and his 30 years worth of experience. So, some frequently asked questions. Does this only work on Thinkorswim? We're talking about Alpha Zone Pro. Initially, yes, because Thinkorswim was the only platform that gave us the information that we needed, the data, the real-time data. But then TradingView upgraded their platform, and now we work on Thinkorswim or TradingView. Both platforms will support all the features and functions in AlphaZone Pro. Can I trade zero-dated options in my regular brokerage account? Yes. Nearly all the brokers out there that allow you to trade stocks or options, US stocks or options, will give you the ability to trade zero-dated or one-dated options. Are you only trading basic calls and puts? Yes, that's the beauty of this program. This is level one options. So even though the moves are small, relatively speaking, they are directional. So when we see pricing coming down into support and we expect a bounce going higher, that's a directional move. So we want to buy a call. Or if we see prices moving high into resistance, we expect to bounce and move short, we'll be buying a put. It's level one options. No spreads, no strangles, no condors, none of that stuff. You're going to be doing this with level one. How much does the average trade cost? Well, the best part about trading zero dated and one dated options is they are dirt cheap compared to selling a weekly or a monthly option, buying weekly options or monthly options on the regular SPY. So the average cost per contract is somewhere between $100 and $300, which means that you can start small and you can definitely scale up. Do you need a $25,000 account to do this? Great question. Most frequently asked question. Guys, as I said, this is an active day trading program where you want to and you need to be able to take multiple day trades every day, day in and day out. So there is this thing called the pattern day trading rule. And what does that mean? What that means is that, and listen to me clearly now, if you want to day trade in a margin account, you have to have at least $25,000 in that margin account to be able to take multiple day trades, every day. If you have less than $25,000 in a margin account, you can only do 3-day trades over the course of any 5 consecutive trading days. Now, how do you get around that? You don't have a $25,000, and what you do is you trade a cash account. You can trade stocks and options in a cash account, and there is no pattern day trading rule necessary whatsoever. So trade a cash account, and you can trade multiple day trades every day. And on indexes, the cash settlement in many brokers is the same day. So once again, the pattern day trading rule applies to margin accounts. And along those lines, I understand, I've been told that FINRA has basically submitted a recommendation to the Securities Exchange Commission, the SEC, and they're recommending that the margin account be reduced from $25 to $2,000 for people that want to day trade in a margin account. And it's hoped that that will be approved later this year or early next year. Hard to say. But once again, remember that about a cash account. The other thing that Roger mentioned is that you can trade a SPY derivative product in the futures, like the E-mini S&P or the micro E-mini S&P. It moves exactly the same as the SPY, but you're doing it in the futures market. There is no pattern day trading rule there. You are not trading options on futures, you're just trading futures, okay? And you open up an account and you do it there, and that's another way that you can do this. So I hope that clarifies anybody's questions about, hey, how can I trade this? I don't have 25,000. You only need 25K if you want to day trade every day in a margin account. What if I have questions about how to set up the AlphaZone Pro? Well, we do have a US-based customer support team that's ready to help you with that. And we also have customer service live, which is fantastic. So every day from 10 o'clock to 1 o'clock, that's 3 hours a day, 10 to 1 Eastern time, Cam and Gustavo and Dylan are in the room there. They understand our products and services extremely well. They also happen to be traders, so they're like you. They know where you're coming from. And thirdly, they only have one objective, and that is to make sure that they answer your questions and to get you as comfortable and happy with the investment that you have made in our products and services. 3 hours a day, 15 hours a week, come as often as you need. Ask your questions, they'll answer them, and we'll make sure that you are delighted with your investment in our products and services. Now, if for some reason we can't get AlphaZone Pro working on your trading platform, okay, for whatever reason you buy the program, you're all excited, you get the link and you click it and you put it in TradingView or Thinkorswim and it's just not working right or doesn't look right or whatnot, all you have to do, folks, just call us. You got 7 days. Call us and say, hey, I got a problem here. And we will move heaven and earth to fix it for you. And if for whatever reason we can't get it running for you, we're going to give you all your money back, all of your money back, 100%. So, you buy this program, don't, don't, don't just let it sit on your computer and get around to it a month from now. Basically load it up, make sure you get it running. And if you've got any questions or issues, call us and we'll take care of you. How many trades can I expect each day if I go to Trading Zone Live? Remember, this is the alert service where Roger's feeding you the fish, right? Uh, Over the course of 400 plus trades, we've been averaging 3 to 5 trades per day. I know that yesterday and today we've only issued one trade per day. They both were winning trades, and we could still see something later on today. We've got about an hour and a half left in the trading session. Let me go ahead and take a look and see if there's anything been issued. But here's an example of something that's in the private Telegram channel. The SPY is trying to make a new high, but the ad is coming down. So once again, Roger and Matt are looking at the market internals before they make a decision to potentially issue a trade, which could be a short entry in the SPY. We'll just have to wait and see. How will you receive Trading Zone Live? You're going to get that in a private Telegram channel. And we like Telegram for a few reasons. Number one, it's fast because when Roger or Matt types in something that says go long SPY, you need to get that in a matter of seconds. If we were to send that to you in a text message or an email, it could be minutes or longer before you get that information, and that won't work. This is a day trading program. So that's thing one. Thing number two, we need a platform where we can easily cut and paste, screenshots, maybe even send you some videos, write-ups and things of that. And Telegram allows that to happen. And then thirdly, and most importantly, Telegram will reach you wherever you are in the world as long as you have a device like your phone, okay? And you have an internet. So I could be on vacation in Spain and I'll get an alert basically saying that, hey, there's a trade there, and I just enter that right on my phone and with my broker, and I'm done. And if for whatever reason you have an issue with Telegram, then this service is not for you because that's the only way we send you the alerts. So once again, folks, rogerscott.com/zone. This concludes my summary. Let me go back up in the chat panel and see if I can answer any questions. A number of people, okay, great, looking for the replay. Okay, so let me see here. Question from Francis. Hi, Raleigh. I signed up but didn't know if I can use it on my Schwab account in my phone. Is it only for Thinkorswim? It will, well, Schwab owns Thinkorswim, okay? And so from that standpoint, and it does work on Thinkorswim or TradingView. So if you have a Schwab account, you already have access to the Thinkorswim platform. Uh, and um, uh, and can you use it on your phone? The problem that I've got with that is there's a couple of things. Number one, technically, I don't know if it will work on your phone. Number two, I'm not sure why you would want AlphaZone Pro on your phone. The screen is so small, I'm not sure you could even read it. I mean, if you have a tablet or a laptop or something, you need to have some real estate. Otherwise, if you try to watch things on a screen this large, I guess technically you could do it. But my best answer is I've never done or tried to load AlphaZone Pro on my phone. Okay. So I mean, I hope I'm helping you out there. It could be doable. I'm not sure if anybody here in the room has AlphaZone Pro and you use it on your phone and you use it just fine. That's great. Let me know, and I'll share that with the room. But I do get concerned about the fact that the screen is so small. Can you really see everything that's going on? Because let's back up here for a minute. Hold on for a second. No. Well, once again, here's an example, of what you're going to see. And that's an awful lot of information there to put on a small screen for you to be able, to take advantage of it. So anyway, I don't want to go on about that, but send me the replay. Send me the replay. Vince says, would it work on a tablet? I'm pretty sure it would work on a tablet. Yeah, because a tablet's going to give you, I think, at least 8 inches of real estate or something like that. So once again, it may work on a phone. I just don't know how legible it is. A tablet's larger. Okay, Jason says, let me see what we got. He says, Jason says, what was the second? Tasty Trade and thank you. I'm not sure. Tasty Trade. I made an account with Tasty Trade. I got level 1, found out I needed level 2. When I asked, they said they can't upgrade. They said to apply for another account with them. It's too hard to have 2 levels. Let me see here. Jason, I'm really not sure here. This is level 1 trading. You're going to be buying a call and buying a put. I don't have any specific knowledge of Tasty Trade other than I know that they're really a high quality brokerage firm and they specialize in trading options and they also are very good on trading spreads. If you're going to trade spreads, I know that you probably need level 2, but to buy a call and buy a put, I don't believe that should require level 2 whatsoever. Now, there's something else I want to mention to you that's really kind of important here, and this gets back to Francis, and I appreciate your saying you're behind the wheel all day, and that makes sense. Okay, so there's a couple of things here, and I want to make sure I'm clear on what I'm talking about. When it comes to the platform with his AlphaZone Pro, which runs on Thinkorswim or TradingView, okay, from that perspective, I believe you do need some screen real estate properly analyze what's going on, because once again, you're fishing for yourself. Okay. And so you want to make sure that you have the right tools for that. Don't shortchange yourself when you need to be able to view what the platform is telling you. On the flip side, if you've got Trading Zone Live where Roger is feeding you the alerts, heck yeah, a phone is fine, because you're going to get a Telegram alert on your phone and Roger's going to say, go long SPY. And then on your phone, you'll go to your broker platform and you'll instantly buy a call. And you can certainly do that. The difference is this: you can use a phone or a tablet or anything to physically place your trade with your broker. So if Roger's, feeding you the trades, no, you don't have to have a big computer, multiple displays or whatnot, because you're not necessarily going to be looking at the platform. I hope that makes sense. Okay, and there's another person, Sally says, for whatever it's worth, Francis, that she uses Tasty Trade for these trades and has no issue whatsoever. And once again, I've heard that Tasty Trade is a fantastic platform. Okay, and once again, that's where you would enter your trades. Oh, okay. So, all right. So, okay, Jason. So, if you've got programs with other of our gurus, okay, and in those cases, you'll be trading. Potentially, you'll be placing credit or debit spreads or time spreads or whatnot, and you need level two for that. Absolutely. I just wanted to be crystal clear that in this particular program, okay, you just need level one. All right. Okay, folks. Well, listen, thank you so much for coming today. Roger and I and Matt, we all know how valuable your time is, and we certainly hope you got benefit from this presentation. We also know that you're all here because you're looking for an edge trading the market. And if you think about what was presented today, okay, Roger basically said to himself, he says, I need a way that I can consistently, okay, and effectively day trade the SPY. And when zero dated options became available, I guess about 18 months to 2 years ago or so, it finally at that point in time allowed for the potential to day trade, because the options were going to be inexpensive. And he and Matt set about coming up with a trading platform that would identify those opportunities for trading the SPY. And when you take a look at, everything that they've done to create the levels and things of that nature, and the fact that the market pretty much stays within those levels within 95%, this is a gold-plated tool. Once again, totally designed to give you an edge. In other words, what we mean by edge is put the odds in your favor, when it gives you a signal to either go long or short by buying a call or buying a put. And then if you add to that, Roger basically saying, hey, I'm going to create an alert service on this because I'm watching the markets with this and my market internals all day long, along with Matt. And when we see something that, based on all of our experience, tells us that this is a good looking trade, well, we can serve that up to people if that's something that they want. And in my opinion, once again, this meets the strict definition of an edge. Let's see. Walt has a question here. Raleigh, can I put my own potential trade and get an alert or buy or sell? Let me see. Can I put my own potential trade and get? Well, let me put it this way. If you have got the Alpha Zone Pro, okay, so in other words, you've got the platform. All right. The platform is going to give you some indications as to where you can consider going long and short. And once again, there are a number of factors here because Rogers really boiled this down to the things that you need to do. I want to let me see if I can bounce back up to something here because I want to make a point. Hmm, I want to see if I can. Yeah, well, I want to find something. I want to find a chart. To make a point. I don't know if I can find one here, and I don't have this loaded up. Anyway, the thing is this is that let me keep on looking. Okay, here you go. So some people that have gotten the Alpha Zone Pro have said, "Oh, there's a green signal. I go long here." Wrong. Mistake. There are four things that you need to see, and Roger covered this in spades yesterday. Okay. Number one is you do want to see the green arrow telling you, heads up, something is setting up for a potential bounce move longer. Number two, you want to make sure that this green arrow is sitting there in this area where the likely or max move is. Got to have that. You know, the third thing that you want to be able to see in this is you want to make sure that your bars here have shifted, from like red to yellow. Okay, that the momentum, the relative strength is in your favor. That's thing three. And thing four, you want to make sure before you go long that the Vold is also going long off of your market internals dashboard. You put those four things together, and Roger explains this in detail, then you should definitely be able to place your own trades. And as he said, what you're going to do if you're new to this is you're going to paper trade this. Get 40 to 60 trades under your belt that you've taken for yourself. Build your own track record, okay, and prove to yourself that you know what you're doing, that you can read this tool and take advantage of it. But Roger's not going to create any mystery here. He's going to tell you exactly how he uses it. And so you'll have that information. You put in the time, to take advantage of all that training, and you'll be able to do this on your own. So the other thing I would say is this, Walt. I would encourage you, if you've got any follow-on questions, because it sounds to me like you do have some good questions, I would recommend that you just go ahead and send an email directly to Roger. And here is Roger's email address. I put that in the chat for you. It's roger@rogerscott.com. And Roger responds to within 24 hours, if not 8 hours, or if you send him an email now, you might get something in the next 30 minutes. Okay. But he'll be glad to help you out. So anyway, folks, thank you so much for coming today. Really do appreciate your time. I'm glad I got the chance to work with each and every one of you just a little bit. Normally, I would say I look forward to seeing you tomorrow at noon for the next edition of the VIP Trade Room, but I am off Wednesday through the rest of this week. I have a big family reunion here in Austin, a bunch of family coming in, and I look forward to that. And I am going to be out of commission, having fun with my family and friends for the next several days. And with that, thank you for coming, and I look forward to seeing you next Monday, okay, at 12 p.m. 12 p.m. for the Monday edition of the VIP Trade Room. Yeah, Walt, Roger. Roger@rogerscott.com. Okay, folks, take care. And if you're trading today, there's about an hour and 15 minutes left. Be careful. Once again, holiday shortened week, the markets are closed on Thursday and on Friday, and things can just get a little weird. So just be very careful. And once again, thank you so much for coming, and I look forward to seeing you next Monday. Bye-bye, folks.